Coastal Impressions Print Shack has been providing the area with top-of-the-line custom printing services. They specialize in printing, signs, t-shirts, and more. Need vehicle graphics or other promotional items? Coastal Impressions Print Shack can help. For more information or to place an order, stop by and see Coastal Impressions Print Shack at the corner of Thomas Drive and Highway 98 or call 850-230-0488. Coastal Impressions Print Shack, your one-stop print shop.
850 Prepped, Bay County's newest meal prep delivery service. Fresh, fully prepared gourmet meals delivered to your doorstep. You have a hectic schedule. Because of this, 850 Prepped has created a local meal delivery service. 850 Prepped features individual and family meals, snacks, and breakfast. Sign up to receive their delicious weekly menu options at 850prepped.com. 850PREPD.com.
When your mind creates an image, it's vivid. When your mind imagines a smell,
the bread, she's already.
it's as enticing as being in the kitchen. And when your mind interprets a sound, you're standing there watching the action. Radio, the medium that works with your mind. Radio paints the picture. Radio touches the senses. Radio constructs the vision you never see. When radio is used creatively, effectively, it brings sight, sound, and feelings to everyone.
Hi, this is Miles Lashley, media consultant for ESPN Northwest Florida, and I would love to help you put together a marketing campaign designed specifically for your business. Call me 850-215-4468.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest. And then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life.
A lot of people don't understand, including myself. I didn't, now I do, the impact of having a stroke.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
It's a new life, but I'm going to make it better. Coming back. Ask your doctor, check your blood pressure.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the...
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DN Mariana, WVLQ Port St. John, Power by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida. Get ready.
Miami is going to the Final Four.
Sports Talk Radio will never be the same.
It is over.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
The San Diego State Aztecs for the first time.
On ESPN.
Onions, pickles.
Northwest Florida.
What's going on, Northwest Florida? You are now riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and you're tuned in to ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 in Panama City, 102.1 in Mariana, and 101.9 in Port St. Joe. We are the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes, along with Drew Gorman and Miles Nash de Lashley. We are live and on location out here at the beautiful Pier Park. We're on the patio at Dave & Buster's, right in front of the Sky Wheel. As always, on Wednesdays, we've got half-price games. We've got happy hour starting right now, 4 o'clock, running until 7 p.m. That's half-price cocktails. And then we got a lot of stuff going on. Not necessarily in the sports world. Very, very slow week like molasses, man. Trying to get some syrup tapped out of some trees out here. But it's not not a whole lot. But we do have a lot going on this station. We had the NIT semifinals last night. North Texas, not necessarily breezing by, but it was a low-scoring affair against Wisconsin last night. North Texas moves on to the NIT final, taking down Wisconsin 56-54, and then an overtime thriller in the second half of the game where UAB and Miles' guy took down Utah Valley. I believe the score there was 88-86 in overtime. So two two-point thrillers last night. Who's your guy on UAB?
Jelly Walker.
Jelly
I think he's somebody to look out for. He scores a lot of points. It's very fun to watch, and he has an awesome name. I'm rooting for UAB to win the NIT now.
I love how names, you know what I mean? Like, who's the guy for the Saints that every time you say his name, Amanda, he's a wide receiver, Rashid Shaheed?
Rashid Shaheed, yeah.
Yeah, I love how a name can just bring about a player's persona without even us knowing them personally at all. Y'all come hang out with us out here at Dave & Buster's. The code word for today is going to be, give me a code word, almost, because Miles has got, the code word is almost. ALMOST, because Miles has got a shirt on that says Almost Friday with John Daly driving the ball. He's got a cigarette hanging out of his lips. Looks like me when I'm playing softball, or at least back in the day before they kind of banned that. So anyways, y'all come out here to Pier Park. We're on the patio at Dave & Buster's. And if you come up to the table and you say the word almost, we'll get you a Dave & Buster's power card.
Going on out here.
Yeah, we do.
Someone's not happy at these people.
Hey, it's a little bit more lively out here this week than what it was last week. The weather was better last week, but it's still clear, not getting a lot of rain, or not getting any rain, but it's just a little bit more chilly, especially for a thin fella who ain't got no jacket right now. What you laughing at?
The guy is showing them where they should have stopped.
Oh, okay.
Showing them where they should have stopped.
Gotcha.
Oh, goodness.
Well, hey, things got to happen. Anyways, so we do have the Final Four games, which will be on our air Saturday. We'll get to the coverage of San Diego State and Florida Atlantic at 3:30, and following that game will be UConn versus Miami, and then we'll have the national championship next Monday. Also, tomorrow is opening day for baseball. Now, if you go and you look at the scores on ESPN or wherever it is that you go and get your scores, looking at the matchups, there's not a whole lot of intriguing matchups. You can make a case for like the Astros and the White Sox. That'll be, I believe, the nightcap game on ESPN. That'll be interesting just to see, because the White Sox always have a lot of hype going into the season, and in that terrible American League Central just can never put it together. And they're going up against the Astros, who are interesting as well, because it's been 2 decades since we've had a back-to-back World Series winner.
And on top of that, the Astros, we've also stolen Jose Abreu. From them as well. So it might be a little bit more of a revenge game type deal from the White. So I wouldn't say from the White Sox perspective, but definitely from Jose Abreu going, okay, now I'm the bona fide cleanup guy
for a
World Series champion, for a World Series favorite.
Yeah,
because coming into this year, like, who else are you going to pick? I mean, there are
out of the American League or both sides.
Both sides. I mean, we'll probably get into this later in the show, but
we are. We're going to be talking about it as much as we can.
Definitely going to be an interesting year, because, like you said, it's been how long had you said it's been since
the Yankees were the last to do it? I want to say that was in the early 2000s.
Early 2000s,
if not 2000.
I'm pretty excited. I think we've definitely, me as an Astros fan, I think we've definitely got a team to be able to do it. But it's definitely going to be interesting losing Verlander. Granted, he was on the way out, older wise. But I'm excited to see what he can do in a Mets uniform. Just to see what I think he's really going to try to do his best. Obviously, to just show, the Astros didn't want to give me this. Okay, well, let me show you what I still got.
Yeah, no doubt. Or you mean the White Sox didn't want to give him that? Let me show you what I got.
I'm talking about Verlander.
Verlander.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that'll be interesting too, because that pitching duo at the top there for the Mets is older than my grandparents combined. Anyways, JV and Max Scherzer. So, but the thing, I mean, there's the truth to that. Justin Verlander had a phenomenal season last year.
Unheard of, coming off Tommy John.
Plus 40, right? He's 41, maybe 42.
Missed just about two full years.
Right. So he, came back on fire, but now he's going to be in a different setting, not have the same pitching coaches, all of that.
New York.
And he's not necessarily, like, who's the ace over there with the Mets right now? I mean, you can make the case for Verlander, but who was the guy that was there last year, right? I mean, could it be Max Scherzer? So there could be that, battle for seniority, if you will, but both of these guys are older, so I don't think that really is going to play a factor. The biggest factor for both of those pitchers is absolutely going to be how long can they stay healthy. They got rid of a guy in Jacob deGrom who's a younger fella, Let him walk. He goes to the Rangers. Then they bring in Justin Verlander as kind of that replacement.
Yeah.
And will he be able to stay healthy? You know Cohen wants him to be able to. You know the Mets need him to, especially who are some of the World Series favorites out of the National League going into this year before some of the big injuries? The Mets and the Phillies out of the East. Well, Rhys Hoskins goes down. Edwin Diaz goes down. Those are two pivotal pieces in a very productive offense for the Phillies side. And then on the side of the Mets, one of the best closers, if not the best closing or walkout song for a closer in the game, bar none, right?
In today's game.
In today's game. You got to give credit where credit's due, especially when you go to maybe the GOAT of all walkout songs. Would that be Mariano?
Yes.
Enter Sandman?
All walkout songs, all closing pitchers. In my mind.
What if we start doing a segment once a week where we really try to tune into as many closing games as we possibly can? It's going to be okay.
Not happy.
Try to catch as many ending games and come out with our best, like a top 5 at 5 for best walkout songs each week, though.
I like it.
Each week. Miles, you think you'll be able to come up with a list for that?
Yeah, I think Google would work a lot better. We can just Google these. All these are on the internet. I don't think we physically have to watch the game.
It's got to be hard work, bro. We've got to put in the time, the effort, and the research. So
every time a game gets in the 8th inning, we just need a notification on our phone.
Here's what you can do. You just go to the ESPN app. First off, we're going to have all the Braves games, most of the Braves games right here, unless they're day games. But we will have the opening day game. When I say day games, I mean throughout the week, Monday through Friday. And most of the day games for the Braves are going to be on Wednesdays. So we'll probably have Cowherd and Greeny and the Underdogs on, but we'll have, I'd say, 95% of the Braves games right here on our air, and that's going to start tomorrow. We'll have the coverage for the Atlanta Braves starting at 10:50. First pitch is going to be at 12:05. Max Fried's going to be going up against Patrick Corbin. Miles, are you more interested in the over or the under? The total's sitting at 8 right now. I know that this is a game you love to play, and we're going to go through some of these other opening slate games as well.
Just not really looking at these rosters. I know the Braves roster pretty well, but not the Nationals. A lot of people are upset Patrick Corbin starting for them, so I'm still going to go with the under. I think it's going to be the Braves like 6-1, 5-1, something low, but the Braves are kind of going to whoop up on them. I'm excited to see it. Excited for the Braves season to get started. But, yeah, I don't think the Nationals scored too many. But I will be taking a Nerfy, a no-run first inning.
No-run first inning. That will be interesting. Caveman Rick says that Scherzer is the ace for the Mets, and his Phillies are going to be taking the Rangers on to start the season. DeGrom versus Nola tomorrow, but they're playing on Sunday Night Baseball. That could be interesting as well. Seeing DeGrom, I think that's a good start for DeGrom, right? He gets to go up against a foe that he's used to.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that works out perfectly. And this is going to be once again a new look Rangers team. It feels like every year they're like, oh, it's a new look. We've got to fix this. We've got to add this. We're trying to put more pieces on the table, but it just hasn't materialized. Who was it? Seager they got last year.
Yep.
And
Simeon over to second base.
Pieces just haven't fallen into place for how Texas has wanted it to. I'm excited to see some competition in the AL West, so I'm excited to see it come from someone other than Seattle. So
you don't want to see Texas become the new Los Angeles Angels?
No.
If anything, I think that a team that could resemble, and I don't foresee this to be true, and we're going to be talking about baseball majority of the day since opening day is tomorrow, but I think a team that could end up being like the Rangers spent a lot of money last year, and they were just kind of getting started to at least enjoy the fruits of their labor, or the labor of their front offices. But wouldn't it be funny to see the Padres, who've spent a lot of money, and it does, and because you're going up against tough competition in the NL West as it is, and if you don't get deep into the playoffs as they did last year, then that could be one of those type of looks.
That's a tough division.
Mm-hmm. As an outsider looking in on that division, Padres, all that, I've started to kind of turn my back on the Padres towards the half end of last year to now. I really just don't they have great players, don't get me wrong, but I just don't like them and don't want them to win anything, and their poop-colored jerseys.
Their poop-colored jerseys.
I like the brown and yellow. You know, what can brown do for you? UPS, all of that kind of stuff. But no, it's an ode to the earlier years. You know, but I'm not a big fan of any team who really goes out there and tries to buy a championship. But it's funny when these teams do that and they still can't come away with the championship. So it'll be interesting because they're going up against another juggernaut. How many times a year? It's not 19 anymore. I think it's anywhere from 13 to 16 games a year that you'll be playing your divisional foes. But that's going to be, you know, how many times when the Dodgers and Padres are going to play that's going to be the prime time option.
Yeah, it's definitely going to. I want to take a bet with Miles here.
Okay,
not take a bet.
Make a bet.
Make a bet. I want to see over under who gets more prime time. Who gets more Sunday night baseball games? Yankees, Red Sox, or Dodgers, Padres?
Yankees, Red Sox. It's always going to be the Yankees. Seems like once we get into the heat of summer, middle of summer, every Sunday you turn on your TV, it's Yankees or Red Sox on that game. And I was talking to David about this yesterday or the day before, just about how opening days tomorrow, there's one game on television. That's on like regular broadcast television on ESPN. It's Houston and Chicago, White Sox, Astros. That's the only game on TV. Everything else, you either have to have MLB Pass or it has to be like in your local market.
Or the ESPN Northwest Florida app, or just get into your radio, 104.3 Panama City, 102.1 Mariana, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, and you can at least listen to the Bravos. And the Braves have one of the best radio networks that there is. And ESPN Northwest Florida, not too shabby as well. But I agree. I get what you're saying. Like, there's the only games, you don't get a bunch to choose from. It's not like the NFL where you can find a way to get well, never mind. You can absolutely.
This idea wouldn't work on weekdays, but weekends when everybody's at home or watching sports or doing whatever.
Right.
I mean, a red zone for MLB would work great, especially on the weekends when a guy gets on base, two guys get on base, or somebody's on third.
The problem is, though,
go to that game, and then if somebody hits a home run, just show the replay.
I understand what you're saying, but the problem with that is with football, right, and the red zone, specifically with NFL and red zone. Why is that so? Why can they do that? Because of the windows that games are played. Whereas on Saturday and even for Sunday for Major League Baseball on the weekends, there's not like this many games in this window, this many games in this window, and then we cap it off with a primetime game. There's, multiple games going on throughout the day at different times. Could they do it? Absolutely. But would it bring the traction that a league that's only playing, one time a week essentially in the NFL be able to be worth it?
Yeah,
now I feel
like I would be more tuned in throughout the season rather than I love watching opening day. I'll probably watch for the first month, and then I'm kind of out of it until September.
I feel that.
If on Saturdays, if I'm not doing anything, I can put on this certain channel and I can get a glimpse of every single game going on and every single score in every single game.
Now on MLB TV, they have an option, but this isn't on weekends that I know of. I know that it's normally after that first, on night games, the 6 o'clock games, right around the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock area, where they have a thing called MLB Big Inning, and it does that. It flips to the latest and greatest thing that's happening, much like how Westwood One's coverage of the men's tournament was doing that here on our air. And also another way, though, you could just go to Tiger TV Pro and you could get that, and you'll have all of the games right there. So thanks for setting me up with that, Miles. All you got to do is head on over to ESPNPC.com. Scroll down, click on the Tiger logo, and we'll have more details for you there.
How else am I going to watch the Athletics? Because I heard this from somebody else, PFT commenter. He faded it was the Pirates a few years ago. The whole year they won like 50 games, so he bet on the team that was playing the Pirates. So he ended up winning a good bit of money. And this year his team is the A's. Mm-hmm. He's going to bet against the A's in every single game this year, and he predicts they're going to win like 49 games max.
I think that's a high number at 49.
So do you think that's a good strategy?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This will tell you everything you need to know. There are a good. I think there are double-digit, without doing research right now, there are double-digit players in the MLB that are making more per year than what the Athletics are spending in their payroll.
And that's not a team I wouldn't do that with, would be the Pirates. And now a lot of people have them slated to land 5th in the Central. But first off, that's not a great division. And then secondly, the Pirates have made some veteran additions over there, and the main one being bringing McCutchen back to where he kind of got started. And then you've also got O'Neal Cruz, which is one of those guys that if he was playing anywhere other than Pittsburgh, that guy is a Fernando Tatis of the league.
Yes.
I also think, like, right now, I guess comparably to another sport, he's a raw talent. He's a real young guy. We haven't seen his full potential yet, O'Neal Cruz, which is awesome because he's been so good, so fun to watch. But I would look at him as Anthony Richardson right now. We're still trying to figure out what he is and like what his potential is, capabilities are. But he's awesome, and I'm ready for him to get out of Pittsburgh and get to a bigger market.
It's crazy. He runs as fast as Tyreek Hill, throws as hard as an MLB pitcher.
Yeah,
he threw a dart, 90-plus, 100-plus strike.
From deep in the hole at shortstop.
Deep in the hole. And is like, what is he, like 6'4", 6'5"?
He's pretty tall,
like,
pretty thin.
What's his exit velo, like 115? It's up there.
Yeah, it's 115 plus. Because I think he hit one last year, 117. That's just unheard of from one guy. Like, it's Shohei. Just listening to some of the people that they were talking in the World Baseball Classic, some of the commentators and everything, and then you're watching him play, and you're just going, all of his achievements, all of his statistics, everything that he's done is just wow. One person should not do all of this.
Yeah, so if the Pirates can put it together, it could be an entertaining team. And I'm not saying they're going to win the Central. I don't know if anyone's going to be beating out the Cardinals and what they're bringing to the table, especially with the youth that they have combined with their veterans. Last night, the NFL owners getting together. Some of the news broke after we were on the air yesterday that now the NFL, the owners have opted not to vote on a rule that would allow games to be flexed into a Thursday night kickoff, but they agreed to modify the existing rule. And so now they're going to allow teams to play a maximum of 2 short week games. So you could be the Dallas Cowboys and play a Thursday night game early into the season. Then you get to Thanksgiving and you play your Thursday game there. And then because you get a full week, they could quite possibly put you that next Thursday, or any one of those teams who play on Thanksgiving Thursday, they could have them play the very next Thursday, giving them 3 Thursday games. I'm not a big fan of this because I think, first off, with Thursday night games, we do have the expectation that they're not great games anyways. The NFL does want to flex and get the best.
Last year didn't help.
No, it didn't help at all. But what I'm getting at, though, is this should be, the Thursday game should be a chance for exposure when they don't normally get those times in prime time. And so they finally get that opportunity, and with 16 weeks of Thursday night football and 32 teams, each team was going to be represented. Now there's a chance that smaller market teams could again miss out on these primetime opportunities.
My biggest thing on the whole situation is the big uproar from the players, because they're also this is coming from a league that basically is telling everyone from day one they care all about the players. Well, at the end of the day, all they care about is the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And all we care about around here is break time. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to take a quick 2-minute timeout. We'll be right back after this.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Braves country.
A rainmaker ties the game.
The Atlanta Braves are set to return to ESPN Northwest Florida this Thursday. It's opening day. Braves at Nationals. Coverage starts at 10:50. First pitch 12:05. Listen to the Atlanta Braves live in ultra high fidelity all season long on the Gulf Coast home for the Atlanta Braves. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Our forecast for this afternoon: a mix of sun and clouds on the low 70s. A north wind will gust to 25. Mostly cloudy skies overnight, 50 to 55 with less wind. Mostly sunny in the mid-70s Thursday, and it'll stay in the mid-to-upper 70s Friday. Mostly sunny skies expected. We'll keep you updated. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
And that'll do it! The Knights have slain the Dragon!
Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. Listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. We're out here at the patio. Dave & Buster's in Pier Park. Half-price games. Happy hour from 4 to 7. Are the fights this weekend, Amanda?
Oh, yeah. We always got fights going on.
Oh, nice. So we're going to have great fights out here. Where's the best place to watch the fights inside of Dave & Buster's?
I would say the sports lounge. We've got the 2 giant projecting screens, so really you can't miss anything. But it's one of those really fun atmospheres.
That voice is the voice of the Assistant General Manager, Amanda Muller, out here at Dave & Buster's. Miles, what's up?
I just had a question. I was wondering, since those screens are so big, wonder if, like, y'all or anybody else is ever going to do, like, a 3D one of those, put the glasses on, watch a UFC fight, and you can see the blood, like, come out into your face. I don't know how many people would like that. I think that'd be very fun and interesting to watch in 3D.
I gotta throw it back and show my age here, but back in the day,
oh, she had the red and blue glasses.
They did the Thank Goodness It's Friday, like, on TV thing, and, like, there was one weekend, every, like, Home Improvement, Family Matters, they all did a 3D episode. You had to go get your goggles somewhere, but it was, like, the coolest thing. So if we could bring that back, I think we could do it.
Yeah, that is awesome stuff. Trying to find out something real quick here, but yeah, UFC, what's it going to be, 288 or 287, I believe? One of those two numbers, I believe.
They've been around for 200 years?
No, 200 pay-per-view events.
I don't remember hearing about them until the hundreds, though, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes, along with Drew Gorman, Amanda Muller, and Miles Nash Lashley. What went on in college baseball, Miles, that caught your eye last night?
Yeah, Ole Miss and Southern Miss are playing a game. They always do these interstate games there at Trustmark Park, the Braves AA Stadium in Pearl, Mississippi. But they're in the top of the 4th inning. Ole Miss pitcher throws a pitch, comes off to field a ball, slips on the sod. Sod goes pretty much flying in the air. Just a square of it, like how you lay sod down. And they called the game after that, and they'd already had 2 or 3 meetings about it during that game. So they had to call the game because the sod wasn't laid right or all the way in the ground. I think they laid it a week ago, something like that.
Well, yeah, it's not rooted in yet.
Yeah, they obviously haven't been taking good enough care of it. But it sucks. Both those teams had to drive all the way out there, and that should never happen. And it being at a AA stadium, there's no reason for that to happen.
Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Where's the sod father? Exactly. We need
that was his last act.
Yeah, that was his last act. Which, could you imagine, like, had they got to the Super Bowl after the first quarter, there's 4 or 5 slips, and they're like, you know what, we're going to come back and do this next Sunday, y'all.
Slipping on grass is a lot different than a whole piece of sod coming up, and there's just dirt right under that.
That's absolutely fair.
Especially something that happens in a video game, because you find, like, the secret entrance somewhere.
Yeah,
especially pitching.
Entrances are always fun.
Pitching, it's got to be crazy.
What's
and got to be definitely scary.
Pitching? You're just losing napkins. It's all right. Just
throw those napkins.
Throw this little old thing right there.
It's a little windy out here in Pier Park, but it feels great.
If I had a jacket, it would feel great.
Yeah, you got a jacket. You got any more than Dave & Buster's jackets?
Anyways, what about pitching?
I do. You work for Dave & Buster's?
What about pitching?
Pitching. So when the sod's coming up, that's a very dangerous spot for the sod to come up. Because, I mean, if you're rounding the bases, obviously you're not going to play in sod, but you're running for a ball, it's a little less dangerous. I won't say it's not dangerous. I'm saying it's a little less dangerous. But pitching, you are literally putting all of your pressure and then coming down on that 1 foot, and everything's going forward. and that's where the sod came from. That's scary as a pitcher, probably.
But where does the pitcher's plant or his landing leg normally land?
For me, it depends on the pitcher. I mean, a lot of them come all the way around, and that foot's pretty much on the grass or very close to it.
Grass? They're like right on that edge.
Big people.
Yeah, no doubt. I didn't see this video, so I'm just letting y'all rap about it.
I would be very upset as a coach and if I was a player if that's how I tore my ACL.
Right, that's what I was thinking. The injuries, like, or even like the parents of that kid, he's got probably full ride playing baseball and takes out his MCL on the sod. Thank goodness that didn't happen, but it's a very foreseeable outcome.
And that's the same field. Shipper Jones, Dansby Swanson, Acuna, Albies, they all came up on that field. It was fine in season. They're about to start, but it shouldn't look like that now. When does minor league start? A few weeks after Major League kicks off?
I think they're going to be getting going here very shortly.
It shouldn't look like that when we're that close to the season.
Yeah, I'll look up the Blue Wahoos and see where they're going. Well, speaking of MMA and those events here locally, we have the Impact Promotions, and they do Beat Down at the Beach. That's going to be this Saturday at Edgewater, so make sure you go check them out and support them as well. Roy Jones Jr. versus Anthony Pettis will be one of the bouts there that evening, so check them out. And also come out here to Dave & Buster's afterwards and check out the UFC fights. Well, we got happy hour. That's every Monday through Friday, right? 4 to 7?
We also do run it on Sunday.
Oh, happy hour on Sunday as well.
Sundays. We like it.
Well, who doesn't? Everyone's got to be happy in the happy hour.
Half-price cocktails is always a good time on the beach.
Half-price games out here every Wednesday as well. Anything big happening in the sports world, in your personal sports world, Amanda?
Really? Why you got to do that to me?
Because I'm looking for something to talk about right now.
I don't think it's that big.
LSU,
it is to me.
LSU Tigers.
Sports world. Wisconsin did lose last night. They are out of the NIT tournament. We made it pretty far.
Yeah, semifinals.
I'm still not happy we weren't in the actual tournament. So to me, I'm like, okay, your season's over. Rebuild. Get better next year because I need to be in it.
I don't know if you know Big Cat. He's a Wisconsin alum, big Twitter personality, but he put out a poll the other day. Would you rather be invited or selected to a tournament? And the winning percentage was invited. You have to be invited to the NIT. You don't get selected.
Right.
So it's a lot more special to be invited to it.
Yeah, well,
that's one way to look at it.
And I'm sure that all the boys are probably a little hungover this morning, and that's fine. You got to look forward to maybe some springtime. There's still feet of snow in Wisconsin, so they can start warming up and unthawing for summer.
Well, I got my my LSU Tigers in the women's tournament, sitting there in the Final Four.
How about that? And how about the Elite Eight viewership from the women's side of the tournament, averaging 2.2 million. That's up 43%.
Nice.
I am one of those.
Yeah, that's it's wild, man. And for what Kim Mulkey's been able to do with LSU after, doing what she did at Baylor, then coming over to LSU and just taking that team, taking out the teams that they had to take out to get to this point. It's been very impressive for her. South Carolina as well, extremely impressive. And then Virginia Tech to kind of silently slide their way in as a number 1 seed at that. But I did read somewhere where these numbers, and I can't prove this or say that it's a fact, but that these numbers, the 2.2 million, was more than any NBA game this season.
Oh, wow.
I believe it.
Well, and then I started reading some of the comments, and they're talking about, Caitlin Clark, and that's the reason I'm watching the game. And for, I like to watch Caitlin Clark because she'll pull up from anywhere, but also she can pass, she passes dimes out everywhere. So I think that's great for the game, and Caitlin Clark could be one of the people, the way that she plays the game, that takes the WNBA to that next level that they're waiting to get to.
And that Iowa-Louisville matchup in the Sweet 16 in the Elite Eight was a great game.
Getting chippy.
Haley Van Lith. Then you had Caitlin Clark on the other side. A great game.
Yeah, and she did something that Mike ain't done. She's done something that Magic ain't done. Larry Bird didn't do. A triple-double.
That? I saw Charles Barkley or somebody tweeted about that.
Yeah, LeBron never did it either.
Yeah.
He didn't play college.
But that's fair.
I'm excited. LSU, we're playing our best ball right now. We've got to get through Virginia Tech, and then we'll have hypothetically, as long as everything goes because it's Virginia Tech and LSU on one side, then on the other side you have Iowa and South Carolina.
That's gonna be
supposedly South Carolina, they're undefeated on the whole season.
Yeah, they're 36-0, and they're an 11-point favorite in that game versus Iowa, who's also really good.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
What I'm hoping is South Carolina wins, LSU wins, and we get our rematch. Because last time that we played them, they beat us pretty handily. They beat us by, I think it was like 10 or 12, but it was at South Carolina. So I want another shot at them. And a little shout out to Angel Reese, our double machine.
Yeah.
Have you guys
Can that
seen?
be like a nickname, the double machine? Like that sounds like a.
She's Bayou Barbie.
Bayou Barbie. That's I think that nickname's a little bit better, right?
So apparently there have been Miles will find this hysterical. Apparently there have been some people, some young people in the state of Louisiana and around the country that have decided to slide in the DMs for Angel Reese.
Oh, I thought we were going to a different direction right here, but all right.
Unfortunately for them, they slid into her mom's DMs because they have the same name.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is the season.
She went on.
Her mom's probably pretty too.
Right, her mom is probably also.
She went on Twitter, put everybody on blast, said, "Hey, y'all are in the wrong DMs. Y'all are in the wrong DMs, and plus, my daughter's looking for men, not boys, from some of the stuff that y'all been saying."
That is.
She's just helping out some of the rest of them. Like, here you go. Don't say this.
Drew, young men have been sliding into some stadium in Baton Rouge as well.
Yeah, why not talk about that?
So there was a 19-year-old kid over the weekend that decided, hey, I'm gonna make a beer run. Well, instead of going to Costco or Walmart or whatever,
because that would be illegal when you're 19.
Yeah, no doubt.
My man decided to go to Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge and break in and walk away with, what was it, $2,000? $1,500 worth of beer.
The police
at a stadium that's like 3 beers.
Yeah.
It's so fair.
At a stadium that's 2 beers.
3?
Yeah.
But still, like, how do you walk away with it? Like a pass?
Well, he like backed his truck up to the gate. Apparently, according to the news article I read, they were just throwing cases in the back of his truck, hopped in his truck, went to his dorm, which they have security cameras everywhere. The stadium has security cameras.
We ain't going too far.
And don't take, if you ever do it with your friends, don't take your car. So they might go to find his car.
You got to do it like the other Hernandez brother. You got to do it in an Uber, man.
Yeah,
get you an Uber truck.
It's probably registered to his parents. His parents now get a call.
Or leave a note.
Leave a note.
Hey, look, I'm going to bring you $1,500 in sales once football season starts. I'm just borrowing this for now.
Yeah.
I need this more than you, dog.
Yeah. We've got a great party right now, man. I don't want to mess this thing up. I'll be back. Here's the IOU for now.
I mean, great
We gotta
things
keep it
happen
rolling.
to young minds in college. Like that, the formulation of that plan had to have been a really cool conversation before that.
Yeah, but could you imagine, like, someone of our age sitting back there listening to that conversation?
Like, hold on, guys. I know where to go.
It's an endless supply.
And there wasn't one friend that said, like, maybe
not a good idea?
one of the biggest stadiums in the country isn't the best idea. Maybe we could find somewhere else.
I mean, come on.
Like we can go to Lafayette or something.
Stadium. Clearly, the kid either knows somebody that works there or has worked there, because nobody goes up to the stadium and goes, I bet I could get in right there and find the beer. Like, that's not like a thing you just know how to do.
And how do you, if you really wanted to get away, why are you walking out with $1,500 worth of it? Like, go
big or go home, man.
Go get 2 or 3 cases and you'll be set.
Yeah,
for a night.
I mean, if I'm breaking and entering, I'm gonna
right,
take
you're gonna
helping.
go for it if you're already.
I'm gonna take a helping.
But I mean, yeah, he's got to be someone that either delivers there or works there or has worked there.
Yeah, if I'm breaking and entering, I'm getting me right for 2 weeks, not just one night, man.
There are stadiums I've been going to for years, and I still look like a tourist when I'm in there. Like, all right, where am I going?
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. Also want to give a big thanks to our server today, Josh. He's been fantastic. Still pretty much eating the same exact appetizers each week.
But hey, at least we upgraded to P-Dogs this week.
It's just so... well, he normally gets them every time. They're just gone by the time you get here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's normally how it plays out.
Good. You know, they're like the comfort food, but yeah.
The pretzel dogs. If you haven't had the pretzel dogs, the tacos, what else we have last week? We had the pizza.
Yeah, we had the flatbread pizza.
Double pepperoni.
Yeah,
Yes.
double pepperoni. But man, y'all, I would have to say, because I think that y'all get a name. Dave and Buster's, the name is for the games and all of that good stuff and
Yeah,
the
until
TVs.
you try the food.
It's
like,
underrated.
Yeah, it is.
It's very underrated.
You don't know, man.
What's the name of that burger that has like brisket on top? I get it every
Beast
single
Mode burger?
Oh
Beast
my
Mode
goodness.
burger.
I feel like I'm walking out. Like, you got to roll me out. Like, I feel like I'm a walk-in coma after I eat that
funny
sucker.
because,
but
like,
it is
again,
wonderful.
you don't think Dave & Buster's for some of these things, but like the chicken parmesan is so slept on here, and I get it. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, the chicken, because even the chicken on the nachos, like you taste, especially if you get like one of those the pieces of chicken that's falling off of the nachos and you taste that, you're like, wow, that's really good stuff. So y'all make sure you come out here to Dave & Buster's at Pier Park and check out some of the food, man. The games are great, TVs are great, and Amanda's great. So you come out and hang out with Amanda. And your little boy's playing soccer. How's soccer been going?
So there's no games yet. The games will be on Saturdays, but we have another practice tomorrow. Brody's team looks pretty good.
Yeah?
You know, because he's in that Division 4 now where it's like you actually have tiny athletes out there.
Yeah.
And, there's some really hilarious height gaps.
Yeah.
Too, because it's also that same age range where you've got, like, girls that are 5'4" already, but then there's some guys that are 5'6", and then there's the kid 4'8" running around giving it just hell out there.
Yeah.
And it's a great time because like there's so much heart in those games. Like those kids are just having a blast. It's so much fun to watch.
I think one of the funniest things is watching like Pee-wee football and like 7 and 8 and 9-year-olds playing football with not just flag football. That's fun to watch as well, but it is hilarious to watch them with they almost look like little bobbleheads out there playing football. You know, I was watching the Callaway Rebels because Maryland's son Liam was playing some football and he was on the offensive line, and just seeing them clash right there at the beginning, and then like they kind of don't know what to do to go to the next level. Like, who do I go block next? Yeah. Do I just sit around and wait on the running back? It's just that is sports,
We've
man.
been like training our child since he could walk. Really, even before that, Nick was like having him kick a ball into a goal because we're soccer oriented.
Yeah,
Brody plays soccer, so we have the goal in the backyard. That before practice last week, he ran up to one of the nets. He was pretty sure he was on the team, and he scored, and the lady was like, "Oh, are you looking for little kickers?" Which is the cute little name they give like the 2-3-year-olds.
Okay.
I was like, "No, he's only one," and she was like, "You got to sign him up next year because most kids are still just running around and they don't know what they're doing. My kid's out there looking for a net."
So they get started at 2 and 3 years old?
Yeah, well, 3 is the cutoff, but he's going to be 2 right before the cutoff, and she was like, "It's fine.
We'll get him in. He's going to be the face of Panama City moving forward. Yeah, I love youth
we're gonna
sports,
get
man.
ESPN of Northwest Florida shirt sponsor on him. And we'll be good to go.
Ain't no doubt about it. Come out there and start covering the games.
I used to coach 5, 6, and 7-year-olds in Little League football, fully padded and everything.
That's awesome.
And you can imagine the age difference, obviously, with 5, 6, and 7. Imagine the size difference.
Yeah.
I had one kid that had all the heart in the world, but no size. A little 5-year-old kid.
Yeah, that dog in him.
Loved the kid to death. Loved him. And he loved me. But he was my running back, and I was like, you just go hide behind him.
That little Deuce Vaughn.
And run this way. Run straight.
A little Deuce Vaughn.
That is awesome.
All right, man. Y'all come up to the table today and say the word almost, and we'll get you with a $10 Dave & Buster's Power Card. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll be right back.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the National Invitation Tournament Championship. Live play-by-play with the North Texas Mean Green.
That's a 3. Oh!
Versus the University of Alabama at Birmingham Blazers.
The lead is down to 1.
Coverage starts tomorrow night at 8:15. Listen to the NIT Championship in a rich audio experience right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Me and my I Do crew have 50 years experience, and we have more certified diamonds in stock at the best prices in town. So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, come see me, your diamond girl, and my I Do crew at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, because we don't work on commissions. We work for smiles and I Do's.
By now, you've heard us talking about Tiger TV Pro. Hi, David Hayes from the Afternoon Underdogs, here to remind you about this incredible streaming service with over 6,000 premium channels. And the cost, you ask? $15 a month. Yes, only $15 a month. Every sports channel is available, including the ACC and SEC network, the NFL, NBA, MLB, HBO, Showtime, and thousands more. For more info, go to our website at espnpc.com. Scroll down and click the Tiger logo.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs. Or come see us on Commercial Drive off Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
Hometown Sports Talk from hometown hosts.
People are loving it.
We're live and local. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
Are you kidding me?
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back. We're live and local. We're out here at Dave & Buster's in the patio in Pier Park. I was going to say on the patio, but technically we're not.
On the patio.
Yeah, we're on the patio.
In Pier Park or in Pier Park on the patio. I don't care.
I'd like to be on the roof of the patio. The setup would probably be pretty tough, though.
That'd be cool. Yeah, no. That sounds like a hazard.
Today it would
I'm not worried about anybody but Drew on that roof. I'm not going to lie to anybody.
The one guy who's on roofs more than all of us
because
combined.
That's why they're confident. Like
Yeah.
Nick can, he would used to tell me, like, when they're framing a house, he could walk one of those beams 2 or 3 stories up, like, no big deal, but... put them on something sturdy, I get worried. You know, like, because there's no caution there, so they don't have to worry.
I'll be doing backflips up there. What are you talking about? I can do this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
See,
like,
I'm kind of scared of heights. Not kind of. I'm scared of heights. And I
Really?
used to do awnings. And so that's not
I'm
like
not
a
afraid
great
of heights.
picture.
I'm just afraid of falling.
Yeah, I feel that.
I've never had any of those aversions, and I love roller coasters.
So do I. I love roller
Absolutely
coasters.
them. So I'm like, waiting for the tiny human to get big enough so I can start taking any fear out of him.
Favorite, what do you call it? Amusement park. With the roller coasters. Like, what's your go-to spot if you know you're just going there to ride roller coasters?
Six Flags, Great America, the one in Chicago.
Oh, okay, never been.
Universal's pretty good. I'll give it to Universal. I haven't done Disney.
Have you been up here to Wild Adventures yet?
No.
That's actually surprisingly low-key good.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, for roller coasters,
I'll have to check it out.
It is, and the price-wise, though, because normally, you get a pretty good deal on buying a 2-day pass or whatever. So, compared to... This is Valdosta, Georgia.
I think Nick and I were actually talking about that one today.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got, like, the water park and, like, the little... Yeah.
Yeah. What about for you, Drew?
My usual go-to, I loved going to was... the one in Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana.
Oh, never been to that either.
Love that place.
I love this. What about for you, Drew?
Cool.
Miles, what do they got in Mississippi?
But yeah, my name's not Drew. We have nothing in Mississippi. I don't know if there's a roller coaster in the whole state that is there full time.
Come on.
There's one water park on it's in Philadelphia. It's on one of the Indian reservations, Geyser Falls. So there's that. They own that, but that's really it. That's all that's in Mississippi.
I think my favorite probably is Busch Gardens.
I've never been
I went there as a
but I've
kid.
heard it was really good.
Busch Gardens
And
is
I want to
awesome.
do the Disney thing, but man, when you have a small person, I was kind of intimidated by the Disney trip before having a small human. Then you have a small human, and everybody has advice, like, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to stay here, you got to go here, and I'm like, this is too much.
You gotta get a leash and drag them around.
I got someone for you.
That part, it's like where to stay, where to eat, you got to eat here, get this credit.
I got
That's when they make you come
someone for
back.
you. Just give me a shout after the show. I got someone for you.
Okay. See, that's
Drew
terrifying.
has an itinerary he keeps in his truck.
But then, everyone knows
mom-
the Disney expert. Okay,
Dog.
your mom, I'm cool with. Let's go.
Caveman Rick says Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey.
Haven't been to that one, but yeah, Great America in Chicago. Check it out. They got rid of my favorite one, Shockwave. It was great. It was like right when you walked in. It was this terrible, terrible roller coaster. Like, if you didn't keep your head straight, it was bobbling in between that bed. Like, you had a headache. It was,
The Six
Kinda
Flags
like the
in
cheetah.
Yeah.
Six Flags in Atlanta. My
all right.
my normal go-to is if I'm going to ride rides, give me a Six Flags, Holiday World, something like that. If I'm going for an experience,
give
Disney
me virtual
World.
reality at that point then.
Universal, because like Universal does like those like 3D coasters that you don't get at like a Six Flags, and those are pretty cool. But I'm going to be riding the Dumbo and teacups for a while, so.
Yeah, and just to keep this all tied in with sports, we just all won our championships in something. And so we're going to be
going to Disney World.
We're going to Disney World. We're going to Disney World.
I mean, Disney does own ESPN, so we can talk about them.
Yeah, that is 100% true. I definitely want to get into our MLB winners, our divisional winners, and talk about the MVPs, Rookie of the Year, Cy Youngs, all of that good stuff. But since this is a shorter segment than some of our others here, let's take a look at the standings and the association.
Have we talked about Tom Brady on the beach yet? Top Gun style.
He
out there
was
with his
living with Gronk.
I haven't seen
Gronk and Edelman.
Explain it to
Gronk
me.
and Edelman.
Living.
Like Tom Brady posts this like Top Gun style, just pictures of them in the sand, shirts off, just throwing the ball around. Like all these dudes are just.
There was a picture?
eating it up.
Gronk's boogie board.
There's pictures and videos. Blake Gabbert was there too.
Oh man, Blaine Gabbert was there.
Gronk's
like,
boogie boarding.
and it was just like it was cool to see him just like
being
messing
humans.
around and like.
Yeah, that was like an $80,000 boogie board. Whatever.
Really?
That wasn't a. I mean, it was the things that pull you in the water. Those.
It
was one of those like underwater things.
Gotcha.
But like just having a good time, you know, like
it's
very spring break.
Yeah, definitely spring break. So
retirement is suiting him well.
Yeah. Does he stay retired? We can go that direction then. Does Tom Brady stay retired for the entirety of 2023?
Yes, he stays retired. I mean, he's already mentioned that he bought a cat for his daughter. You have no idea how much time that takes.
But okay,
cats can live on their own.
Right. I was about to say, like, once they learn how to use the litter box, then
I mean, I'm giving him his excuse because I don't think I don't know. I guess it depends on what Aaron Rodgers decides to do. Until we get that news, we're not going to get Tom Brady news.
I think he definitely stays retired this time around. I think the only reason he came back last year was because so many people were saying, "Oh, he's done. Oh, he's done." And in his mind, the competitor, exactly. He's, "Oh, you think I'm done? All right, watch this." And then he actually showed out that he should have stayed retired.
Well, yeah, but like you can be done and still not be like I'm done physically. Like I'm done with my time.
My biggest thing with it was he had just signed that $375 million contract with Fox to start right when he retires. And I'm guessing if he knew he was going to get divorced, he didn't want to split that contract before it started.
Yeah.
Well, do you ever know you're going to get divorced?
That's fair. I also think the competitor
I think guys always probably should know before it's coming, but some act like they
always
don't.
probably should.
Yeah.
But that's so exactly that right there. What you just said just kind of lines up to why
she
always
definitely
probably
gave
is an
him
oxymoron.
Exactly.
Okay, they should always know it's coming.
Nick, help us out here. Where are you at when we need you, brother?
Nicholas.
I think the competitor in him, to that aspect, the competitor in him wanted to be the one to break the news. And so many people were, not only chiming in on all of that, but the fact that he didn't get to break it the way that he wanted to, I think is a big factor. And I love Miles' take as well. And then Amanda with the always probably no, but...
Always or, probably should know.
What's the telltale sign? Let's just get into it.
She said, "I'm leaving you if you play football for another season." And he was like, "Football it is." Like that's a pretty good sign. She outright told him.
But it's not like they lived in Green Bay or they were somewhere freezing cold. Like they're in Florida and Tampa. She could live in Miami.
She was in Florida in the house. He was traveling and playing football and at the stadium. She wanted her husband back.
Well,
football had his life.
Or did she want half the money?
Well,
but she makes so much money.
She makes more. In her mind, hey, I can make more without you. Let's go.
I'm just trying to figure out an angle where I can be a pest.
She wanted a marriage and he wanted football.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then the daughter wanted a kitten and she got a kitten. I don't know. Giselle's not winning.
Tom Brady is, though, right? He's on the beach. He's hanging out with his buddies in a football type, arena. And he's dad of the year, at least to his daughter.
At least to his daughter.
Whoa, man, we got like a pack of
that's
Huskies
George
out here.
Yeah.
And a loose wiener dog. And a loose wiener dog. with you.
I used to know all the dogs' names, but I forgot. But hey, George.
That is awesome right there, man. I feel like we need to go get a sled with some rollerblade wheels on it and set it up. Can you imagine?
I'm here for the wiener dog, though.
Yeah?
Because he's actually the leader. He's the alpha of that pack.
Oh, he's the alpha. All right, let's go then.
Yeah.
It would be really fun getting slung around this circle. Mush, mush, mush. But there's nothing to mush, so what would you say? Concrete. Asphalt.
I grew up with an Alaskan Malamute, and my dad did have me just hold on to him with the sled, and it was...
Now, this doesn't make a lot of sense, but what if you could do that with dolphins and have like a
pretty sure that's the Little Mermaid.
Then I would be calling you Aquaman. That would be sick, though.
Go to SeaWorld, dog. I think they do that.
Yeah. 2 dolphins. Me, myself, I would rather have killer whales, like the orca whales, you know what I mean?
They're mean as
That's my
heck.
favorite animal, though. I don't know why. I think ever since I got splashed by Shamu in SeaWorld, I love that animal.
They're really mean.
Okay, well, so are elephants and hippopotamuses.
Elephants aren't mean. You could ride an elephant. They're not going to put you in the tank with Shamu.
Yeah, but you can find your way into that tank. You might not find your way out
Kid
of
at
that.
LSU is like you can find your way into anything.
Yeah, no doubt.
Thank God he stayed away from the Mike the Tiger.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, man, that could have
So
been
does the tiger
an
live at the
episode.
stadium? I feel like that's lonely. Like someone doesn't get to take him home at night.
Yeah.
Take him home at night?
Okay, go to anyone in Texas. They
Well,
got
what if
tigers
they
in
have,
their
like-
backyard. Yes, take him home at night.
I think that's illegal.
Maybe in Louisiana, but there's got to be... like,
I think that's illegal in the United
here's
States.
a fun fact. There are more tigers as pets in Texas than there are in the wild.
Did you find that out from Tiger King?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious.
But maybe they probably said it on there. But still, like, who's going to let the poor little tiger, like, there's got to be somebody. Could you imagine being the poor little tiger in a cage, not a single person in the stadium? That sounds awful.
A poor little tiger.
There's got to be someone.
My man is fed well.
But what if he's lonely? Do they have like a
PETA
little
versus the people. Here we go. Here's the debate. You're PETA,
I
you're the
am
people.
willing to take the tiger home at night.
You want
In
to
my
take him
backyard.
you want to move him every day. Every single day.
No, I'm going to bring him there on game day.
That would
Just leave him in his leave him in his home.
Does Uga live at Stanford Stadium? No.
It's a dog. A dog versus a tiger.
Who would win in a fight?
Tiger.
Who would win out of Miles versus a tiger?
Ooh. yeah,
Miles.
that one. Is Miles painted like a
what about
tiger?
in a fist fight? I would win.
You're going to punch him in the face?
Yeah,
now PETA's involved.
No, Miles versus a jacked up kangaroo like Kangaroo Jack.
We have went 6 minutes
We have
without
gone full
anything
circle.
tying into sports. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're live on the patio here in Pier Park at Dave & Buster's. Happy hour from 4 to 7 p.m. And we've got half-price games all day, every Wednesday afternoon. Come check it out, man. NBA standings here. Give me your percentage chance for the Brooklyn Nets, Drew, to come away as the NBA champion.
Oh, gotta be slim to none. NBA champion. Give me a 10% chance.
10% chance. I'm going to go somewhere around. They have no superstar over there, so I think that it's less than 1%.
Ben Simmons?
I mean, he's getting paid like a superstar, plays like, I don't know, I don't want to be
People should be
too
looking
mean
for
to
those
Ben
guys'
Simmons,
agents.
but
Like-
yeah, right. We were talking about
Where's
that
his
yesterday.
agent?
Lamar Jackson needs to be hooking up with Ben
Yeah.
Simmons' agent or Laramie Tunsil's agent. There's two go-to
Laramie Tunsil
guys.
doesn't
right
have an
there.
agent.
Oh, that's right. So
Hook
he
up
just
with Laramie Tunsil.
What happened to what's the guy's name?
Oh, the secret guy. I forgot his
Yes.
name. But
Ken
there's some-
Francis.
Ken Francis?
No, Laramie Tunsil has his secret guy. I don't know if his real name he gave out on the Pat McAfee show, but apparently a lot of the other players are connected with this guy, and he helps out with their negotiations. But it's some secret guy that just gets stuff done.
Mafioso of the sports world.
Pretty much.
I like it, man. I need to find a way to get into that.
My thing,
man.
I feel like I could negotiate a pretty solid contract. I gotta look into this.
There you go, man. All you got to do is, but you do have to have a license to be an agent, though. So how does that work out for this guy?
Look, you're supposed to, but we saw Meek Mill texted Robert Kraft the other week.
And what did he say, though? He said it's
letter.
up to Bill.
It's
Yeah, but
Bill's
there wasn't a letter
decision.
sent out about him saying, well, he's not NFLPA certified.
Probably because he wasn't calling every team, just being like, "What you got for Lamar too?" Because I don't know, we don't know how eloquently this man was talking. He might have just been like, listen, get my boy a deal.
Ken Francis is a real person, and him and Lamar have a home workout thing they're trying to sell. So I think Ken Francis was going about it, was trying to sell this home workout to each team for their players and kind of get them into a yearly contract where every player gets this, the team pays me for it. And while he was doing that, he was going ahead and asking them, hey, if y'all need a quarterback, my buddy over here. Yeah.
I got you. I can set you up, man. That would be better to do it like that and kind of be your own agency rather than working for another agency, right? Especially if you're tied in and with the guys, you know what I mean, and you know them on a personal basis, then you can get more stuff done. I like that. Way to go, Ken Francis, even though it didn't, it hasn't worked out to this point.
That we know of.
Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. The Colts have now expressed interest. I think the Falcons came out and kind of reverted track and say maybe I'm reading that wrong, but I think that there was someone, maybe it was just the media, tying Lamar Jackson back to the Atlanta Falcons. We'll see. They did make a big signing, though, today with Calais Campbell, or Campbell, as Miles would like.
Campbell.
Campbell. But anyway, they continue. They continue on their offseason. Boys, we're about to, ladies and men, we're about to take this to the wrong direction today. I love it, man. You're right with the Afternoon Underdogs again. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. What about a percentage change for the Celtics? What kind of a chance do you give the Celtics?
They've got a pretty good chance. As we're looking here, they're 52-24 on the season. Last 10, they're playing 7 out of 3. 7 wins, 3 losses in their last 10. I think they've got a pretty good shot. They've got a really good guy at the top with Jason Tatum. I'd give them probably about let's roll with, and you come out of the East and you've got a really good shot at it, because in the West, who's going to be there? So give me, I'll say about 65-70%.
What about for you, Amanda, for the Celtics?
With an unbiased, completely unbiased, I'm going to go, what do you say, 60-70? So I'll go 59.5.
All right, I like that. I think for the Celtics, I mean, really, I would kind of split my Eastern Conference with the Bucks and the Celtics. I think that the 76ers could be up there. I think that they have enough juice to get to the finals. I don't think that they have enough juice to win the whole thing, man. We're out here, Dave and Buster's. We're on the patio in Pier Park. Dave and Buster's, y'all come check it out. See all these trucks that are lifted the wrong way. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents
Wrestling Against Cancer, number 8.
MC Premier Professional Wrestling with the American Machine, Chief Little Bear, Mr. 850, and exciting women's wrestling with Raven Knight and T-Games. Saturday, April 29th, Wrestling Against Cancer, number 8.
Number 8.
At the Bay Haven Charter Academy in Panama City. Doors open at 5:30, bell time 6:30. Proceeds benefit Donna Duncan.
More information, ESPNPC.com.
My forecast for this afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds on the low 70s. A north wind will gust to 25. Mostly cloudy skies overnight, 50 to 55 with less wind. Mostly sunny in the mid-70s Thursday. And it'll stay in the mid to upper 70s Friday. Mostly sunny skies expected. We'll keep you updated. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. The SUV family has movement that inspires, and we invite you to test drive the new 2023 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. You can command the road in a sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Drive away today in a new 2023 Rio, Forte, K5, or Stinger, and discover the all-new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. Peace of mind you can trust at your local community dealer, Bill Bird Kia.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DN Mariana, WVLQ Port St. John, Paulette Hesse, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Game days are always better at Dave & Buster's. That's because more TV inches, more food and drinks, more space, and more fun make the game we all know and love more special. Nothing beats seeing your favorite team take the field on the two 12-foot big screens or 26 75-inch TVs. Throw in the arcade experience and you've got a winning atmosphere that no other sports bar can deliver. Follow the fun at Dave & Buster's Panama City Beach on Facebook and Instagram. Eat, drink, play, and watch sports at Dave & Buster's.
We don't sell the steak.
You can stir this all up.
We sell the sizzle. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
Very spicy.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We're back for hour number 2. I'm sorry, Amanda tried to bite your finger off.
He was pointing at me.
Have me crack it up, man. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This
always
is
a good time.
in Northwest Florida. It is always a good time, especially on Wednesdays when we're out here live and on location at Dave & Buster's. We're in Pier Park. We're on the patio at Dave & Buster's. I'm David Hayes, along with Drew Gorman, Amanda Muller, and Miles Nash to Ashley,
Thanks,
and our
Josh.
guy Josh. Thanks so much, man. He's been taking absolutely great care of us. Y'all come out here, and if Josh is taking care of you, you will be satisfied. No doubt about that. Looking at the Sky Wheel, my dad just texted me a few minutes ago, and he said what we were talking about last week. It'd be fun to do a show in the Sky Wheel.
Yes.
I still don't see the possibilities.
Totally could.
You said that we could. Miles believes we could do everything.
What if we had a generator in there?
Yeah, we'd all be coming out with carbon monoxide poisoning.
There's
long extension cord.
Oh, you wouldn't have done too well with the hurricane around here, bro.
Oh, gosh.
He would have been having his generator plugged into the house. Nah, you wouldn't have done that, would you?
No, I would have just gone and killed some deer and eaten, just hung out.
You know, and that was one of those weird things.
I'd have killed some deer.
Weird hurricane flashback.
With what woods? Where are you going to find them at?
The state park.
Yeah,
they're over there.
I live
boy.
right in front of a state park.
I used to live over there. That's where I was for the hurricane. But like our little street, because it was all the power out, we all just pulled our grills into the road every night. We all kind of like kumbaya and grilled together, and you know, it's like weird trauma bonding.
That is awesome. Well, we're getting into our top 5 at 5 here. We're going to do top 5 things that you are watching for in the 2023 baseball season. You can text your thoughts to 850-215-6290. Top 5 things you're watching for in the baseball season. Miles, what's the first thing on your list?
Yeah, number 5 for me is going to be pitch clock violations, and who's going to be that one ump? That's the new Joe West. There's always going to be one of them. There can't ever be more than one, but there always needs to be that guy. Who's going to be the new guy who calls these egregious, terrible pitch clock violation calls that are maybe half a second off or shouldn't be called or right at borderline, or the ump that threw JT Realmuto
I was about to say, is
like
he,
that. I mean,
he's the front runner.
He is the front runner right now. It could be that guy, but I think by the end of the year, halfway through the year, we're going to know who that ump is, who's making all these crazy calls.
I haven't looked into either if JT Realmuto and that umpire, which I don't even know his name at this point in time, had a conversation after the game or any type of communication like, hey, JT saying, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, man. I thought that you just threw the ball to the pitcher or about to throw the ball to the pitcher. I had my glove up there, and just because I put my glove down when I'm not looking at you does not show any type of sign of disrespect. So why did you feel disrespected? I mean, what's the complex there? You know what I mean? So he will definitely be one of the guys to watch going forward. Amanda, what's one of the things that you're looking forward to with this upcoming baseball season?
I don't know if it's like looking forward to in a good way or a bad way, just to see if it happens. I want to see the first bat boy or bat girl get a lashing.
Get a lashing.
Get a lashing. Because I don't know exactly how they're going to handle this, but you know it's going to happen at some point. So I'm kind of we'll see what happens.
Because it's a minor, though, it's probably going to have to happen privately,
They're
right?
Gonna do like a nice little like kumbaya moment. Like, how's this going to go down? Because it is probably some like 13-year-old boy.
That was 4.7 seconds. We're looking here. The average needs to be better than 4.
Put him on the jumbotron. He's crying.
Well, I had the idea. I was like, if the umpires should keep up with it last week, and I said, if they do commit certain violations, then all right, this is their last game. If they mess up in this game, they're out of here. The umpires should be able to throw the bat boy or bat girl out of the game, and they're fired.
I disagree with the point because I think there's too much on the plate of the umpires already. They need to have the eye in the sky.
We need to hire a new person.
No doubt,
keep
but
an
look,
eye on the bad boys.
It's already like their hands are kind of full with that, so they need to have the umpires that are up there watching from New York or whatever, the eye in the sky. They can keep track of that and then just notify the umpire
stat sheet,
via the earpiece or whatever. Yeah, they already have that. That's what the robo ump's going to
put
be.
their picture on the jumbotron and say that took too long. Get out.
Yeah. The Dan Patrick show. Go ahead.
Put a memorial of the bat boy or bat girl up right when you come out of the game. 50 games in this year. We'll see.
Yeah, good luck next year.
It'll be like the Hunger Games type deal for the
They'll
Bat
put like
Boys.
now hiring Bat Boy, and then
We've got tryouts every
Help
other week,
wanted.
man. Oh my goodness, that is actually going to be interesting to see when that first one Bat Boy or Bat Girl gets fired or gets let go from their position, and then they have to refill that. And because it's not, I don't think that's going to be national news. I think that's going to be the stuff that you're going to hear about on Twitter from let's say for the A's. I feel like the A's are going to be the first team to lose their Bat Boy or Bat Girl, right? Because what do those Bat Boys or Bat Girls have to prove
can't
there?
afford them.
Well,
They won't pay them.
That's a good point. But what do they have to prove? They're not running in front of a bunch of fans. There's like 2,000 people there. I would just jog out there.
I
Get a
wanna
Bat
see
Dog.
Their first
I
home
know,
game,
those
I
Bat
think
Dogs.
there's going to be under 1,000 people there.
Under 1,000 for the opening day, though?
Their fans have been good at boycotting the last year. I think it's going to get worse this year.
Yeah, but I think because there's just that off season so long that I think, the itch is there. And then after they see that first series of the season, I'm thinking like 3,000 to 4,000 for the first games. And then after that, you're seeing, about 2,000, which is not good. It's not good for Oakland. But, I mean, look at the Rays. They play winning baseball, and they get about the same
which is a
following.
weird thing to actually like. I like that because you can get tickets cheap, which is great.
When I was growing up, and we're going to get into some other ticket prices here soon, or prices, but when I was growing up, they had the beat seats there, and it was $3. And we lived close enough to the stadium to ride our bikes. We weren't allowed to, but we did, and we would go to
Chain your bike up to the stadium, hope it's there when you leave.
Yeah, but still, like, that's cool.
Yeah,
like, those
no,
are
you had to chain
memories.
it up. I don't know if you know where the trough is, brother, but we didn't live far from there, so you had to chain your bike up. Yeah, because if your bike's not locked up, it is gone,
we
bro.
can say this on air. It's fine. Stadiums are never in the best part of town.
Yeah.
So
the one thing that I loved, and I think that they've got this in Atlanta as well. I'm sure they have it at multiple baseball, football stadiums, but the guys who drum on the buckets, the bucket drummers, are those not the most talented guys all the time?
and it's it's just such a good vibe.
It absolutely is.
You get the giant drumming.
Especially when you're a few in, standing in line, going to the stadium.
It's got to be like warm.
At that
and
point,
it
though,
smells
concert.
Like the Braves have like basically like a drum line going,
They do.
and I just go up there. After the game, anyways. I start high fiving all of them and stuff. And Taylor's just like, oh, this guy is so embarrassing sometimes.
But so that's cool
Mid
for them
performance.
too.
What's that?
Mid performance.
Yeah, he's taking sticks out of their hand, throwing them at
No, I'm not doing no performance, man. I don't got I don't have terrible rhythm, but I don't got drummer rhythm. That is for sure. Oh, what about for you? Number 5 thing that you're looking forward to watching?
Coming off the World Baseball Classic, it's got to come down to you've got Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, and all the memes going around is saying, "Oh, what if these guys were on the same team?" Well, I want to see if the Angels can actually put something together. Basically, coming
My man
off
went with a team. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see as a rival. I want to see what the Angels can do because they had a really, really good World Baseball Classic. Both Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. They were the talk of the town during that championship game. Everybody wanted to see them go against each other, which ended up happening, thankfully. But now I want to see how it plays out and if they're actually able to put something together, unlike previous years.
Yankee John says he wants Oakland to move to Vegas, which I don't have any problem with that, and Tampa to Puerto Rico, which I'm not a big fan of that. Not saying that Puerto Rico doesn't deserve a team or a franchise. That could be unique, but I think Tampa needs an opportunity where they can get their stadium out of where it's from. Maybe it stays in St. Pete, but I think the closer that you get it to the actual Tampa area, I think you could do better. Look at the Bolts, look at the Bucks. Like it's
Dome
not
off.
like they don't like sports. I think that the Dome is an absolute
necessity.
It's a necessity, but it's also one of those things, right? What do people, especially in Florida, love? They like to be outside,
Well, like
but it
Sunlight
is really
Stadium
hot.
did it right.
And then the weather, though, there's so much rain that just comes out of nowhere that you kind of do have to have that dome.
Well,
but I mean,
they could do the Miller Park thing and have the retractable roof.
Exactly. I think
You know?
that would be a great
That'd
way
be
to go
great.
about it.
Get rid of the
Miles, you're
catwalks
shaking your
and
head.
the
Come
trot.
back with something.
Yeah, it rains in other places where they don't have domes.
That's why you do the retractable roof. You can have both.
Yeah, but it's different though, man, because the
Florida
way
rain.
especially where they're at, right? It's a lot like here. It's a lot like here. You get into those summer months and then things come moving in off the Gulf, and
It'll hit you out of nowhere.
I mean, just even yesterday, it downpoured at my house. So it was like sprinkling here, but when it rains, it's going to rain.
I do like what he says, though, and while you're at it, add 2 teams, Nashville and Mexico City. I would like to see it. I think Nashville deserves one. I don't know about Mexico City. If you are going to do Mexico City, then let's see one in Puerto Rico as well.
Yeah.
And then we've already got one in Canada. We put one, let's just get one in every country then.
I think we should take the one from Canada and bring it back in the lower 48.
I like the Blue Jays myself. In fact, I wish that they still had the Montreal Expos, but that's just more or less because of the jerseys. They had their logo was something else. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Number 5 for me. We're not going to get through this entirety here, and this we're all coming up with this stuff off the cuff here. Number 5 for me is going to be the MVP watch, I think, because in the American League, just in and of itself, you've got Ohtani, you've got Aaron Judge, and then you've got Julio Rodriguez.
J-Rod.
Yeah, so you got 3 guys right there that could run away with the award. So I think that the American League MVP watch is going to be something that's very, very special this year. Miles, what about number 4 for you?
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go with my number 1, but it's going to be what kind of baseballs the Yankees are using. This summer, I'm going to find somebody up there who catches a foul ball, and I'm going to get it shipped to my house, and I'm going to cut it open and see what's on the inside. Last year, they notably got the lighter balls, and they do
Goldilocks.
and they do have the shortest. I think it's the shortest field in MLB or outfield wall.
The right field is very short.
Yeah, if it's not its top 5, and
I think you should go to a Yankees game and just stand out there during batting practice with a sign.
Yeah, go over to one of the concession stands and get you a plastic knife and just start
cutting right there. I'd follow it on your Instagram is all I'm saying.
But I would I need a baseball. I need to see what the Yankees are doing this year. I don't think Aaron Judge is going to replicate that, but them having a short right field and him getting those Goldilocks balls last year definitely helped. I don't think that any team should ever get that kind of treatment. I think they should all use the same ball. So I think Rob Manfred needs to get it together, and he's on my hot seat as well.
So, I mean, because I've never played baseball besides like gym class or whatever. Girls don't do that anyway. We have softball, but like the different types of baseball.
Not so fast. Women's baseball is starting. No, but now it is.
I think it would be cool. I always had a fun time, but like I don't know it enough. Like, is there a brand or a specification, or can you just use whatever? Because I mean, like football, the quarterback, like the team gets the ball a week beforehand. They can
it's the same way with Major League Baseball, essentially, right? So each stadium, I believe last year is when they started, every stadium were to have humidors, which is where they basically keep the balls and they get them mudded to these.
They all have to use the same kind of mud.
Yeah,
same kind of mud, same temperature.
The Yankee Stadium, each game there was getting that certain ball.
Well, the MLB is sending them the balls anyways, right?
So the MLB's
right. They're procuring.
I'm just trying to make sure.
Yeah,
and the Yankees are still losing.
You don't just get to pick your own ball. I believe Rawlings is still the Major League Baseball. So Rawlings is a Major League Baseball.
And everyone should
producer.
essentially have the same type.
Right, but they don't. And you look at golf, right? Golf is now in that whole thing of the rollback ball. Like, is it going to be different at Masters? We weren't able to have Alan Watson on last week, so I never got a clear, juxtaposition or a position on what's going on with the ball in golf. But, I mean, basketball a few years ago tried, and that failed miserably, changing the ball.
Even in golf, though, I mean, each brand that makes golf balls, they make theirs all a tiny bit different.
Dimple-wise, mostly, yeah.
So this is why you should buy it as their, selling point.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, but I don't like that they're changing. Here's my thing. I think it should be transparent before the season, even though it's Major League Baseball's prerogative to how this goes about. But I think it should be transparent before the season. Look, we've got X amount of these type of balls. We've got Y amount of these type of balls. And we're not going to tell you guys when or where they're being used, but just know that we're going to have 2 to 3 different balls out there.
Or just use Goldilocks balls in the 9th inning in close games.
There you go. So we can get the most bang for your buck in the last inning.
I have a picture in my head of miles out there, Yankee Stadium, just like, I'm here for Goldilocks or the sun. Like, here,
that could be
have a nice blonde
a lot
next
of
to me in the
fun.
stands.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, the only I was about to say the only player who's really gotten a lot done with manipulating the ball in which they use, Tom Brady, with the deflate gate. But then you look at some of the pitchers and all the spider tack and that big issue from a couple of years ago. And now since they've changed the balls up a little bit more, they're going to be upping the amount that they're searching the pitchers, or making sure that they don't have any foreign substances on their body when they're pitching. Yeah, but I think, man, you know what? And this is unpopular, I think, to a small factor, but let them use steroids if they want to. It's their body that they're hurting anyways. Let them use stick 'em, spider tack, whatever you want.
Now, this might be a little over the top. I'm sure some major league player or some professional player is going to try this in the future. But there's got to be something that you can ingest. Those guys are out there in the heat of summer pitching. They're obviously sweating. But there's got to be something you can ingest. And when you start to sweat, it comes out a little thicker. Then you can use that. And there's no way the umpire can catch that if it's just coming out of sweat.
Could you imagine?
You'd be like Spider-Man?
Your sweat's just coming out and it's like globbing up.
Syrup coming out.
It's like, did you put on makeup today, brother? Like, what's going on, man?
Canadians here are just like, you could sweat maple syrup?
Yeah, for real, no doubt about it. What was number 4 for you, Miles? It was the baseball.
He went to number 1.
I mean, Rob Manfred too. It's time for him to go.
Oh, he was on Dan Patrick today and talking about kind of like the state of baseball and all of that good stuff. And Dan Patrick was asking him, about the robo-umps and when that's going to be put in place. Why don't they just go ahead and do it? And I did like Rob Manfred's answer. They're going to do that in time, but the robo-ump is not just going to be a piece of equipment behind the plate. It's going to be an umpire with an earpiece in, much like we were talking about earlier with ejecting the bat boys.
I don't know. I think like a cool robot on the field that you.
That's what Dan said.
So cool.
That's what DP said. He said, "Well, with the younger crowd, that would work out better."
They'd be like, "I'm here for roboto over there."
Until people start throwing drinks at the robot when he makes a bad call, and then all his wires blow up.
I know one of you.
Put Johnny 5 out there.
I know one of you have already brought up the pitch clock, but that is going to be the first thing that I'm watching tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, I have to listening to the game tomorrow that we're going to have right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, coverage starting at 10:50. First pitch at 12:05. Nationals versus the Braves. But since the pitch clock is being put into place, right, and it's shaved about 23 to 30 minutes off of spring training games, well, now I got to go and make sure that my format is going to be correct for the Braves when they're streaming their games. So that's going to be interesting because you can bank on 3 hours. In the past, you can bank on 3 hours. So I do 3 innings an hour. Well, now if it's down to 2.5, things could change. So that's going to be the most interesting thing to me for the first 3, 4, 5 games of the season and throughout the season, no doubt. But just to see how this plays out, how much time does it actually take off of the game? That's going to be interesting because when you get into those late games and those big time moments, those Shohei versus Mike
whole
Trout,
crowd's counting you down.
Yeah. Oh man, that's going to be wild too. That is going to be wild. That's going to be very advantage's for the home team, right?
Crowd involvement is different.
It is, and it's also different by stadium because what if the Oakland A's are up 4-1 going into or 4-3 going into the 9th inning, the bottom of the 9th? Well, they're going to have a crowd power of about 1,000 who's sitting there counting. And what's that going to sound like? 1, 5, 4.
That's why
then you get into Atlanta.
Stadium noise from your TV.
Yeah, you get to Atlanta Stadium. Or I don't know if the Broncos fans are still a little heated from their counts during football.
Oh yeah,
maybe they'll give it to the Rockies. That was hilarious.
No doubt about it. Number 4 for you, Drew.
I've got I'm going to say Judge. I just want to see what it kind of ties in with what Miles was saying a minute ago. It's just to see if he can duplicate it, see what happens from that standpoint. Does he get those Goldilocks balls? Was it for real? Was he able to hit 62, 63?
He did.
Can he duplicate that next year, this coming year? So I'm excited to see, and we'll see what happens.
What amount of home runs for Aaron Judge would be a letdown next year coming off of 62?
40 and less.
I think
40 or less?
under 40.
So as long as you get over the threshold of 40, you're good. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Because I think what about 38 though? Is that terrible? 38 home runs? You think so?
It's not terrible, but it's
40's fine, but 38's terrible.
After hitting 60 something,
did he just get a bag? as well this offseason.
Yeah.
So it's not going to surprise me if it is under 40.
Yeah.
After hitting 60 plus, you've got to do something close to it. Have to, unless there's an injury. Have to do something 40 plus.
All right. I like that.
And
I don't think he's touching 60.
If it's 40, you brought up 38, but if it's 40, I could see it being slid. Like it's okay, but people aren't as outraged. But if there's just because there's a 4 there, it's closer to the 6 rather than the 3. Because as soon as for a small-minded person like me, you look at a 3, you look at 38, you look at 62, and you're going, that's way off. But you give me a 40 and give me a 62, I'm like, okay, that's not terrible. That's only 12.
4's closer to 6 than 3.
This is
a small-minded person.
Math with Miles, man. He will help you graduate from the state of Mississippi.
Wow.
Not that hard.
Can I amend the question slightly?
Yes, you can.
So, top 5 things I'm looking forward to in the baseball season. Number 4 is ice cream from a baseball hat.
Yeah.
Tastes
no
better.
doubt.
Just tastes better that way.
No doubt.
Nachos
Love the
from
plastic.
a baseball hat. Same thing.
Do you wish sometimes that they would give you ice cream in the nachos helmet instead?
Yes. But I mean, like, I don't care. Even if it's like, because I like to visit teams, stadiums that I'm not generally a fan of, I will get ice cream and nachos because I want the helmets.
Yeah.
So I don't care what they serve in them, I'm getting it.
I saw some dude on Facebook, like he made like a little shelf type deal, and he had
had
American
all of
League
them.
Central.
I don't care
Well, he's still
any
working on
stadium
getting
I'll go
all
to.
of them. But
Yeah, it's
There's
cool.
a
Like, it's
Mariners
just
fan, I
ice
think.
cream.
I don't
actually
remember
like,
his fandom.
Still to this day, even as a kid, I've just never really been an ice cream fan.
Vanilla or chocolate?
Cold State. Chocolate, indifferent. Really, I don't want ice cream. But if it's out of a hat, I'm here for it.
Sign me up.
If you like eating out of a helmet that much, I think you should go on eBay or the internet, buy one of the base coach's helmets, and then make homemade ice cream, cover it up, throw it in your freezer. Then you can always have ice cream out of a baseball helmet.
It's not the same. Like, you have to be at a stadium and have ice cream out of a baseball hat.
That is so true, though. The atmosphere of any environment that you're in, but especially when it comes down to sporting events.
Yeah, middle of the summer, getting sticky ice cream all over you.
Well, that's why I think the pitch clock is so interesting. Like, if you're sitting at home, I get it. The baseball game is getting lengthy, what have you. When you're at the game, you're like, how is it already the 7th inning stretch? I just got here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not
and
long
now it's going to
enough.
be even worse, though, because you're going to be in concession stand getting your little helmets or whatever, and by the time you make your way back to your
load
seats,
up in the first inning.
Yeah.
No, you need to load. You need to get there an hour and a half before the game and just get everything. Buy a cooler.
And I'm one of those people, I don't like leaving my seat once I get there. I'm not doing it.
So
depends on the brew level, but
True.
Earlier this year, I went to Arizona for a softball tournament. While we were out there, we had an extra day, and we ended up taking in a Sunday afternoon baseball game. I saw the Dodgers play at their home stadium, Camelback Grounds out there.
Spring training.
Yeah.
And they played against the Chicago Cubs.
Woo!
Well, it was the Mesa Cubs, I think it was, or whatever. Watched them play. We got there right at first pitch. Well, obviously, 3 guys. As soon as we get there, we're gonna go get us some brewskis. So we're standing in line. We don't get out of line. We don't get seated. Get to our seats till the 3rd inning.
They didn't have beer guys walking around?
No.
Oh.
We sat down and we were just like, dude, it's the
also
3rd
spring
inning.
training. The ushers are training too for the season.
That's fair. Like, so are the bad boys and the bad girls.
Here's a fun fact. I used to sell beer at stadiums.
Oh.
And that was how I went to my first Super Bowl. But that is not an easy job.
Were you selling beers at the Super Bowl?
Yes, I carded Michael Phelps because I had no idea who he was. I was in high school. Okay? It was my first Super Bowl was in Ford Field.
Yeah.
I was when the Steelers won, and I had no idea who he was. I was in the club level serving beer out of a beer tub. Carded him, had no idea. And his girlfriend's like, do you know who he is? Or his girl he was with. I was like, no, I don't.
I don't care. How old are you, bud?
We had to do a whole day class beforehand about IDs and everything, and I was like, I'm here for it. I'm going to the Super Bowl. And that was it's hard work, man.
Oh, I can only imagine.
You had you want to carry as much as you can, and then you had ice on top of that.
And especially doing that in a VIP section, like you're everybody's. Where's my beer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got the hoity-toity.
It was a great time.
We're going to take a great time and have a quick little break here. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. Come see us out here at Dave & Buster's. If nothing else, get here after we get here. Check out Happy Hour, and we've got half-price games all Wednesday long. Quick time out. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Hey, this is Miles from the Afternoon Underdogs. Join me for the grand opening of PCB Hobby, Highway 98 next to Florida Linen. I'll be live on location this Friday starting at 4. Stop by PCB Hobby this Friday for 50-cent trading cards and a 10% discount for just our listeners. Free pizza from Domino's, swag from ESPN Northwest Florida, and there's even going to be a cake. Sweet.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Our forecast for this afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds on the low 70s. A north wind will gust to 25. Mostly cloudy skies overnight, 50 to 55 with less wind. Mostly sunny in the mid-70s Thursday. And it'll stay in the mid to upper 70s Friday. Mostly sunny skies expected. We'll keep you updated. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
Ready to save big on the #1 selling car brand in the world? It's Ready, Set, Go time at Panama City Toyota, where you'll get 2.75% APR plus no payments for 90 days on a new Camry. Get 2.9% on the stylish new Highlander. Ready for 2.9% on the sporty Corolla? And get 2.9% on a new RAV4. See you soon at Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires April 4th. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
Karen bought 83 liters of Dr. Thunder, a suitcase full of Cheez-Its, and a drum of Crisco. Now she's crying about using the self-check at Walmart.
Maybe we should speak to a manager or something.
Just saying. ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back. We're out here, Pier Park, Dave and Buster's. We're on the patio. What did I say the code word was, Miles?
Almost.
Hey, I almost remembered it. Y'all come out to the table and just tell us the word almost, and we'll hook you up with a Dave & Buster's power card of $10. You can also text 850-215-6290. That's not going to get you any type of power card or anything, but we will read your comment off on the air. Got a little trivia question here for you today, guys. Ooh. I'm just kidding. Did you see the trivia question? There's nothing there. We're going to resume trivia tomorrow. We're going to be out at PCB Hobby this Friday. If you if you go up to the counter when we're there Friday, I think all day Friday, because it's their 1-year grand opening, you just tell them that you're a listener of ESPN Northwest Florida. Mention ESPN Northwest Florida, and you'll get 10% off of sealed boxes, I believe it is, but it's sports cards only. All right, let's get into our division winners here in Major League Baseball. And this is, beginning of the year, so it's a shot in the dark. But let's look here at the American League West to start it off. And Drew, tell me who you've got winning the AL West.
Houston Astros. Easy money.
Yeah, that is easy money. We were talking about that yesterday. Miles, what about for you? You going with the easy money?
Yeah, Angels.
Oh, okay.
I say yeah, and I'm like, okay, here we go.
All right.
Hold on. You're going with the Angels for real?
Yeah.
All right.
They're my second team. I loved them back in the day. I was a fan of them since 2012. They were my first hat to get back in the day. I remember getting. So I've kind of followed them ever since then.
Amanda?
Yeah, Houston would be the choice here, but I like your story.
I like your story too. I don't believe in it at all. I want to. I want to believe in it for Shohei Ohtani to be. Yes,
it would.
Yeah, it would shock me because of the track record. Because last year everyone was 50% of the people, let's say, were taking the Angels to win it. It's like, hey, look, Shohei's on another tear now. You've got the best player in all of baseball in Mike Trout. So yeah, a lot of people were taking the Angels. I'm at the point now where it's just like the White Sox. White Sox have a legitimate shot with their roster to win the Central, but they just haven't proven it in 2 years. It's kind of like the Tennessee Titans, who got to the AFC Championship and haven't really returned, and now they're kind of on that downhill of the slope. So no, I just don't believe in the Angels. I don't believe that the pieces that they're putting together are good for their longevity, are good for them to get to the playoffs. And if they don't get to the playoffs, Shohei Ohtani's either going to be gone at the deadline this year or he's gone next year. And it
what if the Angels give him $1 billion?
I don't know, to be honest, and I don't know. Me and Ohtani don't even really speak the same language, but I don't know if $1 billion is worth it to him, because this guy is not your everyday American baseball player, bro.
And tax over there's 50% income.
What I'm saying is the guy cares about winning. That's what I'm saying. He cares of like the product that he's putting out. He cares about the fans. That's why, to me, as a guy who kind of thought he might have been overrated, has just he's awesome, man. He is baseball.
Slow down a little bit. He just won a pretty big championship, so that may take a little off of him.
Yeah, but what's the pinnacle, man? Even over there in
World
Japan.
Series.
Exactly. It's the World Series. Now, don't get me wrong, putting on for your country and winning for your country is one thing, but when you can be in a clubhouse after you're a World Series winner and a World Baseball Classic winner, then that just puts you on a whole nother plateau. So to me, I don't think that $1 billion from the Angels, without them proving that, hey, look, we're going to make moves, we're going to put a staff together around you, we're going to get you to a point that you can play for us so long that we're going to just turn you from, instead of being the starter that you are now, which puts more tails into seats, but eventually 10 years down the road, you'll be our closer, or 7 years down the road, you could be our closer and still be our designated hitter. But Shohei Ohtani, if he does not see it from the Angels that they are going to be in it to win it for real, then no, I don't think any amount of money. Now, obviously, that's just me talking, right? Because if someone slaps you with, hey, look, $1 billion, and you're gonna, you might lose. There's not too many billionaires in this world, So to get there and do that, what else can he do as a guy who loves baseball fans? Think about what he can do for the country of Japan and their baseball world with $1 billion if he were to get that. So there's so many different ways it could go. I just don't think Shohei is the type of guy that chooses, he's getting buku money regardless of which way he goes. We're talking $500 million if he goes to a winner, or $1 billion if he stays a loser. What do you choose?
Probably the $1 billion.
So you'd be $1 billion loser in style.
A Billy with a B.
Billion. All right, let's go to the National League West here. Drew, lead us off.
I think this is the year they actually put the pieces together. Give me the Padres.
All right. What about for you, Miles?
Yeah, I got the Giants. They were fun to watch last year.
The Giants?
Yep, San Francisco Giants.
You're just trolling right now,
Tell me you don't watch baseball without telling me you don't watch baseball.
No, you're good. I didn't know you were serious about the Giants. I thought you were just trolling because of the Angels. Amanda, who you got here?
What do we got, NL West?
Yeah, NL West. So you're looking at the Padres, the Dodgers.
Dodgers.
So according
Dodgers because of Freddie Freeman.
Dodgers because of Freeman. All right. So according to The Athletic, the percentage of votes here, Padres got 61%. Dodgers got 38%. That's surprising, but the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, and the Giants all got 0%, and the Giants were at the bottom of that order. So, hey, but listen.
The order doesn't matter if they all got 0%.
And this is what I'm going to say. Look at your playoff record, right? When the NFL playoff record, you killed it. You did pretty good, not in the totality of the bracket, but he was one of the people saying money line. I don't know if he was trolling here, but money line with FDU over Purdue.
I took that live.
Yeah. And I know, but you were talking about it. I don't know if you were joking or not before that game even took place. So, it's not out of this world. I just, it's
People
crazy to me. People would disagree, but as long as you believe, that's the only thing that matters. I'm riding with the Dodgers as well here. I think that the Padres are riding that hype train. That's great, but I just don't think that they're going to be able to continue it for a 162-game season and actually outlast the Dodgers, especially when who beat them last year? Or the Dodgers made an early playoff exit. So there's going to be that in the back of their mind as well. Let's go to the American League Central. Who do you like there, Drew? I'll give out the percentages here so that Miles might have a little bit better of a feeling about this one. 54% for Cleveland, 29% for Minnesota. Chicago's got 16.1%, and the Tigers and the Royals have 0.
My mind wants to say the White Sox because of Tim Reed. I love the White Sox, but I'm gonna roll with the Guardians. They were young last year. You got Terry Francona as your manager. I think they've got the building pieces that they put together last year that they're just going to keep building upon that.
I like it. Miles?
Yeah, I'm not going to let a computer tell me how to pick.
I'm just
Kansas City Royals.
You got the Royals?
No, I'm going to go with the Twins.
Okay,
See,
I like
am
that.
too, though.
That's a good
Yeah,
pick.
I'm also taking the Twins.
All right, I'm going with the Guardians as well. I just think I like the White Sox roster, but I think the Guardians have that experience to get the job done. So I'm going to roll with Cleveland here in this aspect as well. Let's go to the National League Central, and you got the Cardinals overwhelmingly 87% of the vote. The Brewers getting 9%, Cubs getting 3%, Reds and Pirates sharing a 0. Who do you like in the National League Central, Drusif?
Following Goldie and Arenado, it's St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah.
Boring.
No doubt.
I'm going with the Brewers. Christian Yelich is back. He's going to have a great season this year. He's back. Brewers.
All right.
Yeah, it's the Cubs.
No.
I'm a
hesitant.
Cubs
Cubs
fan.
because of Dansby.
I'm a Cubs fan, and although it's been a rough few years seeing like all of my people get taken to other teams, I cannot choose the Brewers over them. But Brewers is still better than the Cardinals.
Yeah. I'm going with the Cardinals to win the division. I think that they will. The Cubs, I would like to see them finish third. I made a bold prediction that the Pirates would finish third, but I don't really believe that. That's kind of like believing that the Giants will win the West, in a sense. In a small sense. I'm just throwing a little shade, Miles. The sun's starting to come out.
Do you think TCU fans thought they would be in the national championship last year?
No, not before the season. Not until Amanda started coming on the show on Thursdays and throwing up the Horned Frogs, and then all of a sudden they just got that little stretch of luck.
You're
man.
welcome.
Well, for
Exactly.
Kyle Wright, I'll give a vote towards Cincinnati. I think they're gonna surprise some people
I
this
think
year.
that they could surprise some people with that three-headed
For like a game or
rotation
two.
that they
Hey,
got.
they have a cool opening day parade and stuff. That's great.
That's great. Good
Opening
for
day
them.
parade, because by the time we get to next month, y'all ain't even gonna care no more.
Ride that high, baby.
Let's go to the American League and National League East here. Who do you got in the American League East, Drew?
I have the Yankees. Goldilocks balls and all. Give me the Yankees.
All right, New York Yankees. Percentage-wise here, Blue Jays actually getting 45% of the vote. Yanks getting 32%. Rays getting 12%, close to 13%. Baltimore Orioles 9.7%. Man, that sun is coming out, and that
Yeah, it
is
is.
nice. The Red Sox getting 0%.
That's
That is it's
They
wild, but
traded
it's
away
not
everybody.
because, well, yeah, and the season that they had last year. So we'll see, though. Do I believe that the Red Sox are actually going to finish fifth in the East? I know that it's easy to think that because of what they had last year, but we still got to remember Boston can turn it around. Is Baltimore really going to be what they think?
That's going to be a fun division.
It is going to be a fun division. It's a fun division every year. I'm going with Toronto to win the American League East. What about for you, Amanda?
I like Toronto on this one.
I love it.
Not a lot of fight for me from this.
Miles?
Yeah, even though I hate the way their field
Red
and stadium
Sox,
look,
let's
I'm
go.
going with Toronto.
Hey, nice. What is it that you don't like about the Blue Jay Stadium?
Canadian.
The grass goes all the way through the infield.
It's the
except on
flag that they got up
bases,
there,
so-
man.
I mean, it
It's white
just
maple syrup.
it almost looks like you're playing like indoor like on a basketball court where you have the lines taped off. That's what it
Yeah.
looks like to me. It's very
Interesting.
bush league.
Have you seen their the hotel they have in their stadium? You can stay out in the outfield and be able to watch a game from a hotel room.
That's pretty cool. You could do that from the what's that? The Omni in Atlanta. But I've seen some.
No, you're literally
yeah. I was about to
in
say it's
the
not
Rogers
The,
Yeah,
that's
but
what
I
I'm
don't,
saying. It's
you know,
not
but
the same.
hotels usually don't have balconies, and I don't think you can open those windows. You might be able to. I may be wrong, but a lot of hotels you can't open the windows.
Could
I've
you
tried.
imagine? You open
Catch
up
a
the
fly
window.
ball.
You open up the window. You go to the fridge to go grab you a beverage of your choice or whatever. You're walking back. You don't get a great vantage point, and the ball is just coming through the window, and it lands on your toe or something. Oh, or something else. That could be absolutely terrible. National League East here. Who do you like in the National League East? And if it's not the Braves, don't say nothing, Drew. All right, I'll go next. Atlanta. Who do you got here?
They took a big hit with an injury, but I think the addition of Trey Turner to the Phillies is definitely going to put them over the top.
Man, not only are you not taking the Braves, you're taking the Phillies in front of him. That's harsh. I won't do that. I'm taking the Braves.
Hey, Amanda knows what it is.
A-Town, baby.
Let's go. Miles, who do you like here in the National League East?
Yeah, ever since the Marlins changed their colors, I've just hated it. The jerseys don't look good. I like the old fish on there. I'm going with the Braves.
Hey, well, let me tell you, though, real quick here.
I hate the Marlins, so I'm going to pick the Braves.
I love your answer, but I do got to say that the Marlins this year on Fridays are going to be wearing their City Connects that are... Now, my thing is, so they're going back to that teal and the pinstripe jersey. I believe it's pinstripe. It might not have pinstripes on it, but it's the teal Marlins across, but the hat's teal. And that's where it throws it off for me now. I know that these City Connect jerseys are meant to be loud. They're meant to be proud, all of that good stuff. I wish they would have went with the... well, that's because of the Boston Marathon, though. So you can't hate on those jerseys because they're connecting the city. Well, you can, but
you shouldn't.
If you don't know the reason, you can't hate on it.
I mean, I get the reason. It's great.
So you don't care about the Boston Marathon?
I just don't like the yellow going with the Boston Red Sox.
Okay, well, if they like it, it's meant for the city of Boston.
Well, I mean, it's just
like when
Nike's
paying you to wear
Packers do the Acme Packers
fair,
thing, or like I love the Brewers' old school jerseys, the MB, the pinstripe. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. But so the Marlins are going to be wearing that jersey on Friday. The Braves are going to be wearing their City Connects, I believe, on home Saturdays.
Ooh,
and that's going to start on April 8th. Have you seen the new Braves jerseys? They're good looking. I like them.
It's a big crowd, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely is. I can't wait to see some of the other City Connect jerseys as they drop this year. Glad that the Braves
like
got
Arizona's.
Oh, the Diamondbacks? Yeah, those are good. The Padres, I didn't know how to feel about at first, but they're decent. They're like that bright, I wouldn't even call it green, almost like a teal type deal with like pink and yellow. They look like Easter.
Survey, though. Like, there's got to be some people that be like, how does this make you feel? And you're like, oh, they're like, go for it. I love this.
Astros are all like navy
Space
blue.
City. Those are cool.
Navy blue with the orange accents and Space City across it. I like it.
Altuve tall enough to ride a rocket ship?
No, not at all.
What on earth?
He can't even do anything baseball related for 2 months because
Could he
broke
come
his
with
thumb.
us to Six Flags and ride any of the roller coasters?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking.
All right, there we go. We'll get started at the Skywheel. Is there a height limit for that?
I don't think so.
All right.
Box.
Hey,
come on, Altuve. Come see me.
No doubt. All right, you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We've only got one segment left to go. We'll be right back.
The ESPN Northwest Florida Pepsi Big Bracket Challenge.
Oh, you saw that coming, Raph.
We're taking March Madness to the next level. Join our bracket challenge at ESPNPC.com to compete with other ESPN Northwest Florida listeners. The top 3 brackets win cash and prizes, including $500 for first place. The ESPN Northwest Florida Pepsi Big Bracket Challenge is sponsored by Panama City Toyota, PCB Hobby, and Buffalo Rock.
By now, you've heard us talking about Tiger TV Pro. Hi, David Hayes from the Afternoon Underdogs, here to remind you about this incredible streaming service with over 6,000 premium channels. And the cost, you ask? $15 a month. Yes, only $15 a month. Every sports channel is available, including the ACC and SEC network, the NFL, NBA, MLB, HBO, Showtime, and thousands more. For more info, go to our website at ESPNPC.com. Scroll down and click the Tiger logo.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs. Or come see us on Commercial Drive off Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
850 Prepped, Bay County's newest meal prep delivery service. Fresh, fully prepared gourmet meals delivered to your doorstep. You have a hectic schedule. Because of this, 850 Prepped has created a local meal delivery service. 850 Prepped features individual and family meals, snacks, and breakfast. Sign up to receive their delicious weekly menu options at 850prepped.com. 850PREPD.com.
It's Go time all the time. Sports talk around the clock.
Oh my gosh!
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, we are back. Me and Drew are calling plays like the OC and the DC here, but we're live on the air. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. Final segment of the day from the patio at Beer Park at Dave and Buster's.
That'd be a great name for an event, though, in Pier Park. We're going to Beer Park this weekend.
Yeah. My man didn't even give you a countdown, though. That's what I...
He did.
He goes, all right, 15.
Yeah, that's
42.
You're on. You're on.
Omaha.
15 means get ready.
That must have been like what Russell Wilson was hearing in his head, in his headset. 15 seconds, brother. That's all I can give you.
You're on.
Well, that is actually, when's the cutout? Is it 25 seconds or is it 15
I think
seconds?
it's 15.
Yeah, so that's the best that they could do anyways. But then they could look up to the press box and he could be like 5, 4, 3.
You're live.
Another false start.
Like, come on.
All right.
Come on, man.
American League MVP, who do you think runs away with the title?
It's hard. Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani? What about for you, Miles?
Yeah, I think him and Trout are going to split it this year.
Oh, nice.
Maybe a twofer? I'll take Trout because everyone wants Ohtani.
I think Julio Rodriguez is going to make the jump. I think he's going to put the Mariners, like the Mariners had that season last year and it just didn't play out all the way. And I think that J-Rod is going to be the guy this year. And obviously, if Shohei is doing his thing, he's more than likely going to get it. But I like J-Rod in this position. I'm going to stick with him at this point in time in the season because, hey, there's 162 games still left to go, so I could change my mind at any point in time. What about for the National League? I'm going with Trey Turner here. If he has any, like a portion of the success that he had in the World Baseball Classic, Trey Turner's going to run away with this thing. Now, obviously, there's so many great players. He's not going to run away with it, but I like Trey Turner as of now.
I was about to say that you were going to slap the crap out of me because I was going to say Trey Turner, and then you said, "Oh, I'm going to go with Trey Turner."
Yeah.
Oh my God! Okay,
Yeah, no.
Let everything. Hey, this guy is an absolute stud, and I guess I'm still living off the high from the World Baseball Classic of what he was able to do and the home runs that he was able to put up in big situations. Just put him into that roster, and I think he fits in well. Trey Turner's going to win the MVP.
Ooh, real quick here. I think it's pointed towards Miles. I'm not sure about this, but Yankee John says, I didn't have a chance to look it up until now, but they found 11 Goldilocks balls from Yankee games. Out of how many games played and balls that get used? That had nothing to do with Judge's 62. Also, he averaged the 5th most home run distance last year at 412 feet. Now, I'm sure that Yankee John knows also we're going to take any opportunity we get to poke fun or, at the Yankees in general. It's not just Aaron Judge, it's the Yankees.
Rule number one, you can't be the greatest franchise of all time in baseball, which they are, and have the shortest fence in MLB.
Why can't you? That's the beauty of baseball, is you get to have the setup that you want.
It's just... like, have some respect for your franchise. You're the greatest of all time. You scoot your fences back.
At the same time, the other offense is going up against that. You're putting your pitchers in a bad position as well. So, no. I mean, at the end of the day, that is the beauty of baseball, is these individual stadiums and how they're laid out. So I love it.
You can't change Yankee Stadium. You can't change Fenway. You can't change these things.
Yankee John says, understandable, it's the evil empire. So it's just, we can be on the same page here because it's just like Alabama fans, you know what I mean? Like, everyone hates them, and when they complain, it's like, oh my gosh, dude, what are you complaining about? You've had like 20 national championships in the last 7 years,
It's not enough.
Right.
Not enough.
For Miles, it's not
more.
enough. For me, it's just like one of those things that I never thought it would happen when I was growing up. And so, yeah, no doubt. Miles was asking me questions earlier about what maybe I would do for my team to win the Super Bowl, and I'm like, nothing, man. What am I gaining out of my team winning the Super Bowl other than one night being like,
yes, the jersey,
what
you could
experience?
buy the little memorabilia package they sell 2 minutes after someone wins.
What I'm saying is, I'm not doing nothing for that. If they do it on their own accord and I get to celebrate as a bypart or a byproduct of that, then great. But I'm not putting nothing of mine on the line when they ain't giving me no money to cheer for them. No, they're taking my money to cheer That's
part of being a fan. You're so invested in it. You don't win a championship for X amount of time. You want one that bad. I think a lot of people do a lot of stuff for their franchise to have a championship.
Well, maybe I'm just not a great fan. Color me a bad fan.
When you first started the question, I thought you were going to say he was asking you questions on what it was like to be an Alabama fan under DuBose.
Yeah. Well, at that point in time, I didn't know no different. You know what I mean? I was just watching games with my daddy, so it was like, well, whatever, you know?
My boss is an Alabama fan, and he tells me all the time that he gets all the whenever I'm watching and Alabama has a close game, I'll get on the phone with my boss. I'm like, hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like,
those people are the worst.
He's like, dude, I've been on the phone with my daughter this whole time. She's freaking out, and I'm like, hey, it's okay. We've been here before.
Yeah.
You just haven't, because all you've known is championship. But him, he's 54, 55 years old, so he's seen the ups and the downs.
Like the highlight of my growing up, my childhood watching Alabama was Jamie Christensen and the kick against Texas Tech in the Cotton Bowl. I believe that was like early 2000s, if not in the. It had to be in early 2000s because we were on probation for a little while as well. So, local segment, the local high school sports spotlight, brought to you by Barbaritos Food Community People. Visit Barbaritos on 23rd Street. Tell them the Underdog sent you. The Tom Dawson Trophy has found a new home. That's in Jackson County. It's made its first public appearance at the local Mariana Waffle House. Hope you're listening out there on 102.1. If you haven't found out about this, then go hit up your local Mariana Waffle House, because Richard Stark, who's the owner of Lynn Etna Farm outside of Mariana, sponsored Derek Thorne's number 43 super late model stock race car, which he won the Snowball Derby back in December. All sponsors receive a copy of the Tom Dawson Trophy, and Starks arrived in the mail Monday afternoon. They're going to have a late celebration of the victory, so they took it down to the local Waffle House in Mariana, and they had some fun over there. So, hey, just like Trevor Lawrence, man, bring your trophies to the Waffle House.
I think those would be awesome pictures. About 3 a.m., rolling into Waffle House, taking a picture with one of those trophies.
Yeah.
I think Waffle House should be a sponsor on here, so we're not going to utter their name anymore, but we'll just call them like Yellow and Black or something for a while, or Black and Yellow, or Wiz Khalifa.
Those that do not close.
Something, yeah, doors do not close. That's good, because there's just not too many establishments these days that are open 24/7.
But I mean, it's a good barometer too for weather. Like, how bad is it? Well, they're open.
Well, they're open.
That's how I know whether to evacuate or not.
Yeah. As soon as that changes, we will be leaving.
They don't close for nothing, man. Anything new that's happened while we're on the air, let me check real quick. Miles, have you seen anything pop over the radar?
I have not.
All right. So, yeah, not seeing too much here. Looks like Marvin Jones is going to be going back to the Lions, though. And you were bringing up DJ Chark. Who did DJ Chark ended up signing with? He did sign the other day. Panthers.
Yep.
That's exactly who he ended up signing with.
Interesting team.
So they got Speedy over there with DJ Chark. They got Thielen now, Shai Smith, Laviska Shenault. The Panthers could be interesting.
Miles Sanders.
Tannenbaum's mock draft that I seen had the Panthers taking Bryce Young. I really think, at least from some of the things that I've read, with the Teppers having dinner with C.J. Stroud, I think it's going to be C.J. Stroud. I think he's going to be the number 1 overall pick.
Well, it was who was it? Who's their Luke McCown or Josh McCown? I can't remember which one, but he's their offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. And there's the whole big conversation that they had. They were saying goodbye to each other, and it was caught on camera on a hot mic. He said they were talking about playing horse, and C.J. Stroud said, "Let's go play now." Well, just to move to Charlotte. And everybody was like, "Oh, okay, now we know who they're picking." I'm like, it could be a smokescreen, could be could be a real thing, but I mean, that's just two dudes being dudes, wanting to compete, wanting to play. I like that, and if he does end up going, I am gonna fall into that trap, and I'm gonna say I think he fits a little bit better in their scheme, rather than I think he fits better. C.J. Stroud fits better in Carolina rather than Bryce Young.
Okay. All right. I mean, I think that that's yet to be determined for sure at this point in time. But those are two guys that it's going to be interesting no matter which way they go, because they're probably going 1 and 2, and so they're both going to stay in the South. One's just going to be in the AFC. One's going to be in the NFC. If you could pick on who you're going to be drafted by, the Panthers or the Texans, which team would you rather be drafted by? I think I'd rather go to Carolina.
I'd rather have Laramie Tunsil on my side.
Yeah, that's taking care of your blind side, no doubt.
I really like what Houston has done this offseason. I'd rather go. And to me, I think as a Saints fan, with the addition of Derek Carr, they definitely look like they've taken control of the NFC South. No one other than Jacksonville has really. And do we really think that Jacksonville's taken that next step? I think the AFC South is ripe for the pickings.
Okay, I like that. And D'Amico Ryans. I mean, you got two not first-time coaches, but two new coaches. D'Amico Ryans is going to be his first job ever, head coaching job, and then Frank Reich is going to be his first year in Carolina. So that could be interesting as well, because whoever's going to Houston is going to be playing under a defensive-minded coach. Whoever goes to Carolina is going to be under a head coach who's had a lot of experience. I mean, Andrew Luck, just for one name, and that's a pretty big name to drop as well.
And that's another reason why I feel like Bryce Young fits better in Houston, because he's played for a defensive-minded coach. That's a
really good point.
He doesn't need as much coaching coming from Alabama as C.J. Stroud might, because I think C.J. Stroud needs a little bit more coaching to be a better quarterback rather than what Bryce Young would need.
All right.
Miles.
You have stunned him.
Hey, so Amanda was talking earlier. We've only got 3 minutes left to go here, but Amanda was talking earlier about beer prices in stadiums. And so I was like, well, let's see if we could find something. So we went to Statista.com. It's kind of like a barista, but Statista. I like that. So the New York Mets topped the list here with about $12 per brew.
Never going.
The low. Well,
Never going.
I don't want to go.
Never going.
I don't know. It would be interesting. I would like to go to
Mets game.
Yeah, I would go to every.
That's how much they were at the Players Championship. They were like $11.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, baseball's
gonna buy them.
Baseball's got the best prices of the four major professional sports. That's not even close. Now with hockey, it's normally about like $18 to $20, but you're getting a 24 ouncer, so it's like $2. So at that point, you're kind of looking at $9. But still, it's like just thinking about that makes my wallet hurt, and my wallet is skinnier than I am.
I know. I knew Chicago was in like the $11 range.
$11. Oh, you're looking for the Cubbies. So the Cubs are $10.49 and the White Sox $10.75.
Yeah, see, that's why the
Bravos, because they have a beautiful stadiums, $5. But see, and now this is average prices.
I feel like I've paid more.
I think I pay about
than
$8.
$5.
Yeah, I think I pay about $8 for the.
$8.75. Which matinee game are you at? Like a Tuesday afternoon?
This is average prices. So it does. I'm sure that it does. Fluctuate some. Colorado Rockies, though, which is a stadium I really want to go to for some reason. Is it a beautiful stadium?
It is gorgeous. There's a Ian's Pizza like right outside, which is like a little pizza place from Madison, Wisconsin. You're welcome. They have a steak and French fry pizza that's amazing.
When you're ready to make a trip, let me know.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like the mountains in the background, like something about it. Dude.
Oh, for Colorado? Is that what you're saying? When you're ready? Yeah.
When you're ready to go, let me know.
All right. Let's see here. There's nothing really. Well,
where's Tampa Bay on there?
The league average is 687. The Rays,
the Athletics.
The A's are sitting at 7, and they're above the league average, which is 6.87. The Rays, they're right there with the Braves. I mean, pretty much from the Marlins on down to the Twins are all sitting at 5. There you go. Live on the air. You know, we've got 1 minute left to go.
I love it.
You guys have been
We're not missing that one.
No, you've been riding with the Afternoon Underdogs today. You've been listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to have the Coach James Hale Show live from 7 to 9. We've got the Final Four on this Saturday. Tomorrow, opening day for the Atlanta Braves, 10:50. The coverage time will start. We'll get to the first pitch.
Masters next weekend.
All right, but we're talking about things on our air.
I feel like it's too cold for that.
Yeah.
Coverage tomorrow at 10:50.
Too cold to think about that.
And we got Patrick Corbin versus Max Fried on the hill going at it tomorrow for the first game of the season, and we'll recap that when we're back on the air tomorrow at 4 p.m. This has been the Afternoon Underdogs. Miles Lashley, Amanda Muller, Drew Gorman. I'm David Hayes, and we are out. Keep going is what they're telling me. I feel like Greeny the last couple.
For college basketball, ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the National Invitation Tournament Championship. Live play-by-play with the North Texas Mean Green.
That's a three. Oh!
Versus the University of Alabama at Birmingham Blazers.
The lead is down to 1.
Coverage starts tomorrow night at 8:15. Listen to the NIT Championship in a rich audio experience right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. And a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line. ESPN Northwest Florida are proud members of the Panama City Beach Chamber. We'd like to welcome the newest members to the Beach Chamber.
Third Generation Energy, Exchange at the Beach, Weller Management, Full Heart Rentals, Maddie's La Casita, Marcos Bay Pizza, LLC, Real Ladies Licensing, LLC, Fishing Apparel, Mi Casita, Jalisco, and SNH Technologies.
Congratulations from the area's only sports radio station, ESPN Northwest Florida.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WPLQ Port St. Joe, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida.
All them dogs are counting down, about to put the anchor down. Hotty toddy, who's it gonna be? Cowbells and swamp, the Yankees wrong. There's nothing like the SEC. The weekend's full of surprise. Get him with the flag. Spice and Death Valley. On the Five Mile Show, Paul's on the road. If he don't get the best of me, call Paul. Help me sense of it all. What's going on, Papa? Nealon's up on Rocky Top. The Razorbacks are hard to stop. War Eagles soaring in the wind. Let me talk, Tammy. Okay, go. Tigers rocking in Missouri. The Wildcats are grinning too. Talk about the tide that's rolling in. The weekend's full of surprises. From big upsets to robberies. On the Five Mile Show, heads are gonna roll. If they don't get the best of me, we'll call Paul. Yeah, it makes sense of it all. Yeah, call Paul.
Go take those calls. I could give you my address and phone number if you're ever in this neck of the woods. This is the Paul Feynman Show. It's not Jerry Springer, right?
Welcome in. Good afternoon. It is the middle of the week. We're excited to say hello to you. Thanks for being here and a lot to do on our program. Let's get started with some headlines and then some guests will start dropping by in college football and basketball. What's going on here? Selling hope has never been easier. Had to double check that for a second because I wasn't sure you could get hope for a nickel on the dollar. But David Ubben will join us later on talking about how TCU bucked decades of bad trends. Basketball teams are doing it. Cinderella's galore in Houston this weekend. Speaking of hope, where have we heard this? Clemson's never been better. Let's go to the most objective source in America, Dabo Swinney. They've missed the playoffs the past 2 years. Georgia is the betting favorite, though, and that means Clemson is not. Georgia and Alabama are at the top. That comes as no surprise. Ohio State, Southern Cal, Michigan. LSU's up there. Clemson way down. Florida State right behind Clemson, or right with Clemson, Notre Dame, and Texas. And some think this Heather Dinich will join us momentarily. Has been to Auburn and wonders about the wide receivers. I wonder about more than that. Heather joining us in about 10 minutes. Mentioned Heather. We'll talk to Andrea Adelson about Clemson and some other things, and Ubben on selling hope cheaply. Let's get to the calls at 855-242-7285. And Pat is up first. Hello, Pat. Good afternoon.
What's going on, Paul?
We're doing great. Thank you.
I guess you haven't heard from the knucklehead Jim yet, huh?
No.
Yeah, he really gets on my nerves. How he calls in one day and rips you up, and then comes in the next day and tells you how great you are. Well, Jim had a little bit of surgery today.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he went to the doctor to get a little snip done, and he showed up wearing a tuxedo. And the doctor said, "Jim, what are you doing here wearing a tuxedo for this?" He said, "Doc, if I'm going to be impotent, I'm going to look impotent."
That was pretty funny. Hugh is up next in Deep Gap. Hello, Hugh.
Yeah, good afternoon, Paul. Several weeks ago, you characterized my opinion pursuant to the obvious, usually money-grabbing conference basketball tournaments as an idealistic freshman notion. Paul, your effort to demean my cognitive ability is a long way from the worst complaint I've ever experienced, and in no way did it temper my thoughts on the subject. Here's what my crystal ball tells me.
Okay.
A symbiotic relationship clearly exists between gambling interest and TV broadcasting contracts, where are the best interest of the game of basketball and football, and specifically the players that provide the game in this process. Conference basketball tournaments a week before the big dance that really does not count require a minimum of 3 back-to-back games for a winner. This constitutes what I would consider a foolish TV money grab that even the NBA would never agree to. Perhaps a players' union like the NBA offers will be necessary to curb the insatiable appetite of binding broadcast contracts to allow gambling and TV corporate interests to total control of big-time college athletics is well beyond the bar of equitable or sensible scheduling. Paul, if you think about it, Johnson v. NCAA is going to result appropriately in salaries for full-time football players in major colleges that we're going to have a full-time program. And I would guess that would be similar to what they'd earn with a 30 or 40-hour week in a McDonald's, which will be between $20,000 and $30,000 a year apiece. Now, that's going to happen based on that ultimately leaving the appellate courts and winding up with the Supreme Court. They clearly are employees at this point in a multi-billion-dollar business. Now, in order to avoid a student union, and I'm not talking about where kids go to meet girls or vice versa or eat lunch, I'm talking about a labor union. The smartest thing that could happen is for conference commissioners and university presidents to put a handle on runaway authority of television contracts. Paul, that's all I've got to say on the subject.
Thank you, Hugh. Well done. Felt like I was sitting in on a Supreme Court motion there. Logan is in North Carolina.
Hey, Paul, looks like Hugh's coming real deep from Deep Gap today.
Man, I don't know where you are relative to Deep Gap, but go by and check on Hugh and make sure he's okay.
I've never been to Deep Gap, sir. I don't know how to get in there or out of there, so maybe I'll send somebody to check on him. Hey, Paul, I just wanted to talk about Dabo Swinney. I saw the article you posted here. Has there ever been a more embarrassing person to come out of the University of Alabama football program than Dabo Swinney? I mean, he consistently puts his foot in his mouth. I mean, there was a time when I thought, well, he could be a decent coach, but just his track record with the talent that he has, I just don't get it that he is going to win another national title. I just don't see it. With Georgia coming up now, Alabama, if we get the right quarterback.
You're onto something there, and I will give him this. He's exceeded anybody's wildest dreams, but the problem for Clemson moving forward, Logan, is that, and their fans don't want to hear this, but I'll tell you anyway, because you already know it. They don't have the infrastructure in place or the fan support to be able to deal with and wade their way through what is happening right now in college athletics. They're a really good football school, and they've mastered the ACC, but their time is up.
Their time is definitely up, and I don't see it happening, especially with his coaches, his assistant coaches leaving. I see them just going further down and down. And if they weren't in the ACC, schedule they play, they wouldn't be in the conversation every year anyway. So that's
they have had a great program, but you've seen the last 2 years or the last 2 or 3 years a slight slippage, and I think it's going to be barely noticeable until about 3 or 4 or 5 years from now, and Florida State gets back to where they are, and Miami recovers, and other schools do the same. Thank you very, very much for the call. Appreciate it. Charlie is up next. Good afternoon.
Well, hey, good afternoon, Paul. What a hot mess you have created, and I just want to understand, how did I get into the Fight Club bracket with Jim from Tuscaloosa? But anyway, you got us Alabama callers turning on each other, wanting to cut each other up and using a fish bait. But what in the world's going on, Paul Feinbaum?
I'll tell you what's going on. We're heading to a break right now. More of your phone calls and Heather Dinich coming up right after this.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-881-4242. That's 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242.
Atlanta Braves baseball is back.
Struck out another one. Max Fried is perfect. Swing and a drive. That's hammered deep right.
We're your exclusive radio home for the Atlanta Braves.
First pitch of the game nails Ronald Acuna Jr. And now the Braves are coming out of their dugout looking at a rain.
Hear every exciting home run, every strikeout, and every thrilling victory on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Game days are always better at Dave & Buster's. That's because more TV inches, more food and drinks, more space, and more fun make the game we all know and love more special. Nothing beats seeing your favorite team take the field on the two 12-foot big screens or 26 75-inch TVs. Throw in the arcade experience and you've got a winning atmosphere that no other sports bar can deliver. Follow the fun at Dave & Buster's Panama City Beach on Facebook and Instagram. Eat, drink, play, and watch sports at Dave & Buster's.
Living on the Gulf Coast, we have beautiful beaches, clear water, and amazing marine life. Want to bring a piece of the ocean into your home or office with an amazing aquarium? Gulf Coast Aquarium, the area's only certified platinum CCHEM dealer. Their staff are all certified CCHEM specialists. Gulf Coast Aquarium can install, design, maintain, and finance your own piece of the Gulf. Gulf Coast Aquarium, powered by CCHEM, with over 40 years as a U.S. U.S.-based manufacturer of quality aquarium products. Online at GulfCoastAquarium.com. Gulf Coast Aquarium, where it's more than just a tank.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs. Or come see us on Commercial Drive off Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
Your daughter doesn't want to talk about why her room is a horrible mess. Your son doesn't want to talk about why he's wearing mismatching socks. Your spouse doesn't want to talk about their bad haircut. Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk to plan for an emergency. Pack basic supplies in a go bag: water, canned food, flashlights, batteries, medical supplies, IDs, and some cash. Talk about where you'll meet in case you lose one another. And of course, don't forget to pack the dog treats. Talk to your family and make an emergency plan. Go to nyc.gov/readyny or call 311 to make your family's emergency plan. Brought to you by New York City Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires. ESPN Northwest Florida. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
Off target, right hand follow! Cowbell! Perfectly timed right block!
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. We just heard from Hugh Freeze. And speaking of Auburn and Alabama, one of the last people I expected to be spending the week in Alabama is our next guest. Heather Dinich joins us from Tuscaloosa. Heather, first of all, I'm envious. You're going to some old haunts, so tell us about your trip through the state. How are you?
Paul, I'm having so much fun. And, you know, I talk about the college football playoff and the suits of the sport all the time. But to be able to be on a practice field this week at Auburn, talking to Coach Hugh Freeze, and then making the drive over here to Alabama, had the pleasure of sitting down with Nick Saban this afternoon. We're talking football, Paul. We're talking about football. And it's so refreshing. And you know what? There's a lot of teams in the same boat. Nobody knows who the heck their quarterback is.
Well, let's go back to Auburn for a second, then we'll work our way up. I don't want to bury the lead of talking to Nick Saban, but we had Hugh Freeze on a minute ago. I understand you ruffled a few feathers on the plains this week. We'll share the tweet with the audience in a second about wondering what's going on down there with wide receivers.
Look, I was in practice. I'm standing on the sidelines. Quarterback threw a ball. There was a hit in the numbers. He dropped it. I'm like, I don't play college football, but I probably could have caught that pass, truly and honestly. And I'm looking at them, and you know, some of the guys are a little bit small. They really are. And I think that, and Hugh Freeze said this candidly to me, that the 24 and 25 recruiting classes need to be top 10. He likes the players he has. I want to make that clear. And he does not want to throw anyone under the bus. But if they are going to close the gap with these programs around them, being Alabama and Georgia, they have got to really push it. And he's on the phone constantly with recruits. And so, yes, it's just a position. I'm saying you might want to have a little patience. But you know what, Paul? Auburn fans, they need to have patience with everything going on in that program right now. They've been there a skinny minute. He doesn't even have decorations up in his office yet.
Heather, you were just there. I'm watching this from a distance, but the feeling I get is Auburn fans are all in. They really feel good about where they are, knowing that it will take some time, but also knowing that an important and necessary change was made. What are your impressions? You know, coming in from another locale, so to speak, and then getting the vibe on the plains.
Well, the reality is, and as Hugh Freeze told me, his blueprint has worked everywhere else he's been. Will it work here? He doesn't even know that. They have to have players buy in. And like I said, it's still early. It's only spring ball. They are looking for leaders to emerge. They are looking for everyone in that team meeting room to buy in. It hasn't happened yet. Those things certainly take time. But not only that, but Hugh Freeze said that one thing that he honestly wasn't really prepared for was the NIL aspect of taking that job. And, you know, as we talk about all of these other programs and closing the gap with Georgia, that's a big deal. And so there are a lot of things that he's got to navigate through, obviously first and foremost being recruiting, but the buy-in and everything, not even he knows if they're going to be able to take it back because they have to have the players and the buy-in, and all of that takes time. And he said, look, the administration knows. They know that he needs time to get those recruiting classes. So the answer might not come for 4 or 5 years.
Heather Dinich with us in Tuscaloosa. How weird is this, me talking to you there? Heather, let's talk about today, practice and a visit with the GOAT. Tell us all about it.
Well, I sat down with Nick Saban this afternoon, and we started talking about his quarterbacks, and that is a question mark. He told me there's no timetable for it, but what he's doing is what he hired Tommy Rees for is developing the quarterbacks. And he said it's all about the mental preparedness that he's looking for from those guys. So he doesn't know. I mean, it's been since 2016 that Nick Saban has had a quarterback competition with so little returning experience from the previous season. But we also talked big picture, and he was very candid and acknowledged, no, last year was not what Alabama fans expect, what he expects. 10-2 might be great somewhere else, but here they play for national titles. And I asked him about Georgia, and he said, yes, Georgia the last 2 years has proven that they are the best the last 2 years. But when we're talking about a bigger picture, I think that what he talked about was that they're trying to get back to where Alabama fans expect them to be. And you know, I talked to players today about that as well, and the standard is just higher than 10-2, and everyone here knows it.
Heather, I realize you're just observing and talking and reporting and doing all the things that you're supposed to do, but as you look ahead to this season, Alabama's on the betting list by Vegas. But what do you think, based on what you know and what you know about the other schools who are competing around the country?
Well, I think it's arguably more wide open than it has been recently because so many programs, including Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Penn State is going to have a new quarterback, have new quarterbacks. You go to USC, Caleb Williams, can they play defense? So, yes, everyone is going to be talking about the same popular teams and the preseason picks, and they should. But the reality right now is that nobody knows. I think there are teams out there like Penn State who could have an opportunity to take advantage of question marks at the quarterback position for Ohio State. I think Brian Kelly at LSU, Josh Heupel at Tennessee. These are teams that are building quickly towards not just contending for their respective divisions, but also winning them. So I think it's going to be extremely exciting and fun to watch, Paul.
Heather, you mentioned in a recent article about teams that could crash the party. They're the familiar teams, SC, Penn State, Tennessee. You bring up Florida State, Washington, and LSU. This is all really interesting because Alabama, where you are, is in the division with LSU. We know what happened last year. They played Tennessee, so let's move ahead and look ahead to this season. And what interests you, especially about Tennessee and LSU, which have a lot of replacements to do. Although LSU has a quarterback coming back, Tennessee does not.
Not only does LSU have a returning starting quarterback, all 5 of their offensive linemen return. I mean, that's huge, especially considering some of the questions everyone else has. And I think, to be fair, Brian Kelly exceeded expectations in his first season, and now they probably quadrupled. Okay, now you get to the SEC championship, now you win it, right? And I'm not necessarily sure that that's fair, but at the same time, I think that they are building towards that, and they do have enough talent on that roster to possibly take the next step. Heupel, what he's doing at Tennessee is pretty impressive, and his offense has been the key. He's not changing his offense by any stretch of the imagination. I asked him who the next Jalen Hyatt is on his roster. He said, well, nobody knew who that guy was at this time either. So, they have all this talent waiting in the wings, and part of what's so much fun about these seasons is to see who is that next superstar that we don't know about right now.
Heather, before you go, maybe it's because I'm homesick for a place I spent the largest part of my life, but tell me about your non-football part of the trip to Bama this week, Auburn, and then making your way over to Tuscaloosa. I'm sure, knowing you found some nooks and crannies to experience.
I didn't, Paul. I drove here. I got here late last night, but I'll tell you the story. So I'm sitting at the hotel bar last night having my dinner in Tuscaloosa, and this just epitomizes SEC country. There's like 3 other chatty couples there. One was an Alabama wife married to an Auburn husband. One was even an Ohio State, Michigan couple and a Kentucky couple. And I'm sitting there at the bar eating my cheeseburger, and they're all talking and arguing and talking about football, and they're chatty, and they're like, where are you from? Where are you from? Finally, they look at me, and they're like, what about you? Where are you from? I'm like, listen, you guys you're killing me here. I'm from ESPN, and I'm a college football reporter, and this is the best conversation I've had all day.
That is funny. Well, I'm thrilled you're there. I know it's always cool when I know you're all over the country and seeing different campuses right now, but we appreciate you sharing your experiences in Alabama, and I know there's more to come. Thanks so much. Heather Dinich joining us from Tuscaloosa. We head to the break. Your phone call's right around the corner.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
It was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
This is C.J. McCollum, star of the New Orleans Pelicans and co-host of the C.J. McCollum Show.
McCollum at the horn for 3.
Inviting you to join Israel Gutierrez and me once a week as we discuss names and storylines in and around the NBA with the inside perspective you can only get from someone in the locker room and on the floor. Listen to great guests and players such as Brandon Ingram and Andre Iguodala, and input from a great team of ESPN Insider regulars like Brian Windhorst, Tim McMahon, and Mark Spears. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Braves country.
A rainmaker ties the game.
The Atlanta Braves are set to return to ESPN Northwest Florida this Thursday. It's opening day. Braves at Nationals. Coverage starts at 10:50. First pitch 12:05. Listen to the Atlanta Braves live in ultra high fidelity all season long on the Gulf Coast home for the Atlanta Braves. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs. Or come see us on Commercial Drive off Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
850-PREPPED, Bay County's newest meal prep delivery service. Fresh, fully prepared gourmet meals delivered to your doorstep. You have a hectic schedule. Because of this, 850-PREPPED has created a local meal delivery service. 850-PREPPED features individual and family meals, snacks, and breakfast. Sign up to receive their delicious weekly menu options at 850prepped.com. 850preppd.com. Krispy Kreme presents the Spring Minis 16 count. This includes 3 mini bouncing bunnies, 3 mini diving ducks, 3 mini daffodils, 3 mini chocolate iced donuts with spring sprinkles, and 4 original glazed donuts. The Spring Minis 16 count is available now. Celebrate spring at Krispy Kreme next to HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer. We are located on 2241 East Baldwin Road, Panama City. Shopping for an 8-foot to 16-foot in width or 10-foot to 60-foot in length, cabin, garage, portable building, whatever the needs are. Remember, at Stormore, we can insulate our buildings. We can put electric on, thermal windows, transom dormers. There's so much we can do. Stormore Portable Buildings, 2241 East Baldwin Road.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Miles from the Afternoon Underdogs. Join me, David, Kyle, Amanda, and a cast of sports fanatics every Wednesday for half-price games, half-price cocktails, and ESPN Northwest Florida swag. We broadcast live from Dave & Buster's Pier Park every Wednesday starting at 4 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. Appreciate Heather dropping in. Let's get back to the calls, and John is up next in Louisville.
Hey, great opening. Senator Hugh of Deep Voice Gap. That was a great filibuster. I had to pull out my thesaurus, though, to interpret it all.
Well, he read it well, too.
I know. And love Heather on the road like that. I think that should be a weekly staple. She did some good reporting, and Auburn is trying to get buy-in. Isn't that like an annual event, getting their players to buy in?
Well, it's a different situation with Hugh down there because he's been there before, as the report said.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to talk about Mike Tannenbaum's guest appearance yesterday, but just real quick, a young lady brought up the book Unbroken. I did read it. It's, I think you know, it's about Louis Zamborini.
Correct.
36 Olympics, USC track star, 33 days on a raft, and then a POW. And the movie was done as well, quite well by Angelique Jolie. She did the direction on that. So, Mike Tannenbaum, I tend to disagree about Hendon Hooker. I think he's a great person, but I think he was in a quarterback-friendly scheme last year, and widened it, opened up the offense. But in the NFL, it's more condensed, and I think he's more like a Zach Wilson. He's going to have a great college career, but I don't see him getting drafted before late second round.
Yeah, I don't listen, it's easy for me to sit here in the peanut gallery and take shots at Tannenbaum, but Tannenbaum's the only person who feels that way. So that doesn't make him wrong. It makes it highly unlikely, though, that he's right.
And as far as Jalen Carter, I don't think they're waiting for anything on him. He pleaded no contest, and I think in part so there wouldn't be further additional charges or an elevation of charges. He's good to go. I think he'll go in the top 10 still. He's just that good a player.
Well, he is, John, but he had a miserable pro day, and I think that gives.
Oh, that's true.
It gives people cause to worry about where exactly is his head going to be. Thanks for the call, John. Rick is up next in Houston. Hello, Rick. Go right ahead.
Hey, Paul. Happy hump day to you, sir.
Thank you.
Couple of quick show observations.
You ever feel like you're talking to somebody and they're no longer there?
Yes.
Well, that's exactly what happened there.
All right.
Henry is in Baton Rouge. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Paul. I really love your show. I'm a first-time caller.
Thank you.
It was hard for me to get through, but I got through.
I
just want to know, how do you feel about the LSU and Alabama? Where you think that they'll be ranked when the season starts?
I think Alabama will be somewhere, probably 4 or 5, and LSU won't be far behind. I think LSU will be in the top 10 as well.
Okay, Paul. Thank you. I appreciate your comment.
Thank you, and I'm really glad you got in, Henry. Call again sometime. Appreciate it. Let's check in with Dwayne down in New Orleans. Hello, Dwayne.
Paul Finebaum, leave that Jack Daniel alone, all right? You do that. And let me tell you something, Paul Finebaum. I've been telling you about LSU. I called you about a month ago, tell you about how LSU got everybody coming back. They got the best quarterback in the SEC coming back. They got the 1-2 punch, just like Alabama had with Jalen Hurts and Tua. Now, you know that? Do you know that?
Well, I'm not sure if LSU has 2 quarterbacks that will be starting in the NFL, but I know maybe one. I'm not sure about the second one.
How you don't know about the second one? You saw him when he came in both the championship game and the bowl game.
Yeah.
You watched that?
Yeah, I saw those games.
Huh?
I saw those games. That's why I said what I just got saying.
Hey, there's another thing I told you about LSU baseball team. We beat up on Arkansas, and we're going to beat up on Tennessee. Your team, where you come from, you're out of miles. We're going to beat on them this week.
Well,
Dwayne,
how you feel about that? Don't beat up on us too hard, okay? It's been a rough couple of weeks in Knoxville.
We're going to beat on y'all. We're going to bet y'all.
Come on, Dwayne, just go easy on us, man, okay? Just.
We're going to bet y'all out of there. We're going to bet on y'all all 7. Hey, we're going to have a 10-0 run game. 10-0.
Dwayne, I tell you what, you are a you show no mercy, do you?
Yeah, I told you already. I've been telling you we got the football team gonna be fire. I've been telling you that. I told you about a month ago when I called in and told you we got the
just
best defense.
so I remember the call, Dwayne, because I talk to a couple of people every day, and I do remember your call. But what exactly are you saying? What is LSU going to do this fall?
We gonna be running. Hey, just like y'all talking about I'm telling you how you talking about Auburn need to catch up with Georgia and Alabama. The first they need to catch up with Mississippi State. Mississippi State got them beat so far. What you say about that?
No, I'm just laughing at you. Not at you, Dwayne. With you, of course.
Then another thing, y'all talking about going visit Alabama and Auburn. You need to make your way down to Baton Rouge. You need to make your way down to Brown County. You need to see what's going on down there. You need to see what's happening down there in that BR with Mike the Tiger. When you come to Baton Rouge, Paul, we're going to sick Mike the Tiger on you. We're going to let Mike Tiger out the cage on you.
I was there last year, Mike. I didn't see Mike.
Yeah, you want to tell him this time? Yeah.
Hey, Dwayne, you live in New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure when I'm down there, I want to know how far away you are from me.
I'm down here in the Bayou country.
Yeah,
I'm down here in the Bayou, baby. In the Bayou country. In the Bayou. Down here with the crawfish, frog legs, turtle.
Yeah,
what you want to eat?
Dwayne, I used to live in Louisiana. I'm pretty familiar with the culinary delights. So you like
I'm telling you one thing, Paul.
What's that?
Hey, we taking over the SEC West. We taking over that sucker. We letting you know we taking over that.
Well, Dwayne, hey, you listen to me for 1 second. Do you realize what you have to do to take over the SEC West? You've got to go through.
That man got nothing in Alabama no more. That man shot.
Let me tell you some of the people. Let me tell you. Hold, Dwayne, give me 1 second. I feel like I'm in a caller feud here on my own show. Dwayne, before you win every year, you're going to have to deal with. I'm going to give you 2 names. Okay, you ready for them?
What do you want to say, man?
First of all, you got to deal with Jimbo Fisher.
Man, we gonna get him. We got him. We got him.
No.
We got something for him. We got something for him.
No.
We got something for him.
Dwayne.
We got something for him.
You know what happened last year? Jimbo Fisher mopped the floor with you guys. We
got something for him.
He threw you in the crawfish etouffee for chum.
Yeah, we got something for him. Hey, we got something for him. Hey, we gonna have him. We got something for him. We got something for him. We gonna break him up. They come to Baton Rouge this year. They cheating. They do cheating down there.
But here's the best for last. You got him last year, but you're not getting Nick Saban again.
Yeah, we getting Nick Saban again. We gonna get Nick Saban again. We gonna keep on getting him. Now we got something to pay. Hey, I'll pay dues. Hey, you know something? Like they say, old clothes stuff come back around. Old stuff come back around. Oh, we coming back around, baby. We gonna get him.
No, Dwayne. I got news for you. Saban's got you circled on the calendar. You are not getting out of Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I told you already, Paul. I told you already. I'm gonna be in Orlando, Florida for the Florida State game. I told you we're gonna be ranked number 8. We're gonna be ranked number 7, number 8 coming in. Florida State gonna be ranked in the top 2, in the top 10 too. Florida State gonna be a showdown between us and Florida State, 2 top 10 teams in Orlando. We're gonna bust their butt. We're gonna show you what we're working with. The first game of the season, we're gonna bust them. We're gonna bust them up.
We'll take a short break after that calm, cool, and very sobering conversation. We're back with more of your phone calls right after this.
Inflation is nothing more than a legal form of theft, because with every new round of money printing, the value of your 401k or IRA is decreased through the dilution of the money supply. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and while you can, I highly recommend you consider physical gold for your retirement account. Why? Because gold provides real wealth preservation that can withstand anything. Even better, with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group, you pay no penalties or taxes when you transfer your current retirement funds. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold from my friends at Birch Gold. There is no cost or obligation, so request this information right now.
Call Birch Gold Group today at 800-533-1344 to get your free info kit on gold. Call 800-533-1344. That's 800-533-1344.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Can you imagine what if FAU and Miami both win and advance to the national championship game? Then I think you're going to see a lot of people falling off going, you got to be kidding. No. Yeah, this could be hilarious for college basketball.
Weekday morning 7 to 9, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Let your spring adventures begin today at Bill Bird Kia. The SUV family is built for all adventures, and the possibilities are endless. Now offering 3.25% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today, 2435 East 15th Street, or anytime online at BillBirdKia.com. We're going to treat you like family and give you that peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $22.22 per month per $1,000 financed at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 4/3/23.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces. Just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, is that a faucet running?
Nope, that's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest.
It is?
Yeah, forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. The water comes straight from the forest to us. In fact...
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
How do trees clean the air?
They soak up the dirty air on their leaves, branches, and trunks, which means clean air for us.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yep, but the forest does more than give us clean air and water. It gives us shade for hot days, birds to listen to, and trees to climb.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know how cool the forest could be. Hey, let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
College football isn't life and death. It's much more important than that. The official sports station of the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And back to our calls, and let's head to Mississippi. Ricky is up next. Hello, Ricky.
Hey, Paul. Dwayne, I just wondered, was he in the Jack Daniels? I mean, he talking about you in the Jack Daniels. I think
Ricky, I'm not a connoisseur, but I have a feeling he was into some homemade hooch.
Yeah, you might be right. They got some powerful stuff down there, boy.
I think they do.
But what I wanted to talk about, Paul, is kind of a serious matter to me, and I've always loved the show, and I have a lot of fun, listening to Legend and all the other guys, and it's entertainment, and that's what Legend, that's what he proclaims, and that's what I believe. It's all in fun, No, but I've heard Jim, get offended, and I just think that he's. I don't know if he needs medication or whatever it is, but to me, I just think he has to get control of his anger.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Ricky, because I feel the same way. I don't want to come down on the guy because, but I think he needs a break. I think Jim needs to go somewhere else for a while and figure out what he wants to do, because his hatred just doesn't work with what we're trying to accomplish here.
Right, and because he proclaims to be a Christian, and your conduct, that's what that's what defines, is your lifestyle. I mean, you can read all the scriptures in the world, you can quote all the scriptures in the world, and all that tells me is you got a good memory. But you have to live by,
You're absolutely right, and I don't know how many times you have to remind people of what you are for them to start to doubt that you tell the truth.
So my suggestion to him, and I try not to be a hater on anybody, but I just suggest to him that as God tried to tell Cain, you have to get the mastery over your anger. And I would suggest a couple of scriptures for him is Ecclesiastes 7:9 and 7:21 and 22. And if he can read over that, because if he claims to be a Bible reader and he claims to be a Christian, that's where you need to turn to, and so that's all I have to say on that, Paul. So I appreciate you.
Well, I think those are some of the most important words we've heard, Ricky. I'm glad to hear you. I know you're concerned, and we share your concern. Homer is up next in Minden, Louisiana.
Hello, Paul. How are you doing? It's fine day.
Better that you've called, Homer. Thank you.
Well, that's sweet of you to say that, because I was going to tell you, man, I said my whole outlook on life has changed. Yesterday, I was listening to y'all, and I was like, I think I want to call in. I don't call in a lot, much anymore. And when I got off the phone, I was so happy. What do you call it? Your aura. My aura is gone kind, and I smiled, and I got so many thoughts. I stayed up all night.
Well, Homer, that makes all of us feel better. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. Let's check in with Peggy, who is up next.
Okay, I've never heard that caller before, and I'm just quite, I don't even know. Paul, I hadn't really called you. This is Peggy up in Tennessee.
Yeah,
I hadn't called since Tennessee made such a, showed up and showed out at the Sweet 16. How pitiful was that?
Wasn't good.
Couldn't hit honey, they couldn't hit a free shot or the broadside of a barn, could they?
No.
I mean, just simply couldn't hit nothing. And if I didn't hear one person lay anything at the feet of Rick Barnes can't shoot a shot for somebody.